Yeah, this weekend's not good for me. I have to work on my script. Yeah, this weekend's not good for me. I have to work on my script.
Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon. I have no clue. It is a new day. It is a new morning. I have not streamed in a while. I don't even remember the last time sorry for that one. Wait, hopefully the audio can go through. Hopefully we have audio. Okay, we are pretty good. We are pretty good as always. Gotta keep it cool. We gotta keep it relaxed. It is interesting, right? The last 2 or 3 days, when talking about this LCU stuff and the BBU, it's been interesting, and a lot of interesting information has been coming out, right? Certain information that caught my appeal, caught my attention, but I'm not the only one, right? The dwarves and other people, but mostly just me and the dwarves, caught certain information that was very appealing, right? Information that are clearly not true, yet it is now sparking a full-on, I guess, war between, not really a full-on war, but a full-on, fight between, the dwarves and Becky. Now, why is that particularly? There's obvious reasons why that may be, and those reasons clearly being, clearly being, that there's some, there's some lies that are being spread around, right? Lies that are about links, about Grace. Now, let's be real. When it's coming to, individual like that, like when it's, let's say, coming to, I don't know, with Grace, believe it or not, whether you like her or not, or you believe her, it's up to you. It's up to your own personal opinion, right? And you're entitled to that 100%. But at the same time, when you're believing somebody who's a notorious liar like Becky or Roxy, it makes you kind of ask yourself how idiotic are these people? How dumb can they be? Right? And I understand that the sort of joke, right, about how the average intelligence of the LCU fandom is kind of relatively low. No, I would agree to some extent. It is a very quite low number. At the same time, you ask yourself this, do they blindly believe whoever because it's just happened to be convenient? And the Dorps were right. Whether or not you like the Dorps, whether or not you find them appealing or whatever, or you're into their sort of weird relationship, right? Because they're lolcows. How can I say this very clearly? Every so often they do make a good point, and it is hard to agree with it or not. Now, Ben has been deeply criticizing the BBU and Becky and everything they've been doing, like just one bad misstep after the other. No idea about what's going on, but they're getting clicks. So to kind of give you a bit of a crash score. So there's this thing that's going on between. So Deadman made 3 dang stream for Juneteenth instead of spending time with the kid. Did he? Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go spend time with your kids. You only get to live this life once. You gotta go out and enjoy yourself, right? You gotta go out there, right? Your kids are only young once, right? You know what they say? Your kids are only one, right? You only have so much time to spend with them before they grow up. But to give you a bit of a crash score to get cracked, whether or not you're aware of the lore. So there's this woman named Becky. Grace talked about her a few times. She used to work with Keemstar. And during that brief period, which didn't really last that long, Becky told Keemstar to fire Grace. Now, or at least gave the suggestion, because there's a lot of weird fog of war going on, right? On one hand, Grace was fired because she didn't pick up the phone. If he wanted to stream, let him stream. I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe just a me thing. I don't know. But 3 streams, I wish I could stream. I wish I could stream 3 times a day. Shit, I barely even stream like once a week sometimes. Fuck, shit. I'll give him props. I'm just barely trying to get monetization. But that's not my point, right? My point is that the lore between Becky and Grace, no, not really, I wouldn't say deep, but it is interesting, right? Because, Becky did had a hand in trying to get Grace fired early on. Oh yeah, the fog of war. Remember the missed phone call drama? Yeah. Well, apparently, Becky has kind of admitted a few times that she had a hand in getting some of those people fired, which is quite interesting. I'm not even gonna bill ports, but it's very quite interesting, right? That she would admit that a number of times. Now, why would anybody still want to collaborate with her? Mind you, Becky is a notorious liar. She clearly lied about essaying. Without getting too much into the essay stuff, because that's the whole lore in itself. Becky falsely accused of somebody essaying her ex, which was proven to be false for the most part that we are aware of, or at least for the most people think it is false. Just for a number of factors that don't add up. But what ended up happening was during that time, Becky got, or I don't know, because she didn't pick up the phone which is true. But Becky has said a number of times that she did had a hand in getting them fired, so it's a little interesting, right? That and she admitted that in the past. Now, why would they still work with her or at least want to collaborate with her? I don't know. I don't understand it. All right, I don't understand it one bit. But that's who I am. I wouldn't want to work with somebody that like had in hand of me getting fired. It just doesn't make sense in my eyes. Holy shit, they're being thrown. I'm just gonna conquer them. I don't even care, right? I wouldn't want to work with people like that to begin with. But nevertheless, during that process, right, during that brief period of time, that happened. Now, come to current events. Roxy, who is now one of the hosts of the BBU, falsely accused Lynx and Grace. Mind you, Lynx does not want to be involved. Lynx does not want to be involved of any of this shit. She does not want to be part of anything like this. She just wants to be her own separate thing, right? She just wants to be out of it, and that's respectable. You got to give somebody props like that. What the fuck is conquering me? You know what? You get a couple hydrogen nuke. That's what you get. That's what you get. There you go. Right? So, why are you falsely accusing somebody for something that they didn't do? Right now, when it's coming to the question of doxing in either of those servers, I've been part of those servers for quite a bit of time. Yes, I did leave Gray's server, but I just left because I just didn't want to be there anymore. But my time being there, doxing is very much frowned upon, especially from Grace. Like, you can say whatever you want about Grace, right, for the most part, but at least like doxing is kind of like frowned upon. She doesn't like people doxing. And same thing with Lynx, because she was actually doxed. I believe, if I remember carefully, I think Lynx was actually doxed by Becky, which resulted in a whole heap of things relating to the Canadian government. But that doesn't really, which is interesting, right? That Roxy is accusing somebody else of doxing. Are they? I'm just gonna have to hit. Right. That's very interesting, in my opinion, that you're accusing of somebody who, holy shit. Good thing I'm not British. Right? You're accusing of somebody of doxing, yet you yourself was reportedly doxed, and yet you're going to be working with the person that doxed you. Which is very interesting to hear that, right? If you're not aware of who I'm talking about, Psycho Mom supposedly had not that she doxed Roxy, which is even more funny because apparently Becky supposedly doxed Psycho Mom, but if we're going off the logic, all of that was fake, but these things did happen, but then stories are coming or flip-flopping. It sounds like, in my head, it sounds like nobody can get their story straight at all, and that's even more interesting, right? If we're gonna throw around people docs and all that stuff, Roxy her job was at least being called what I can imagine within later on would be docs, right? But then was because of Psycho Mom got fired during Fat Camp, and she did a whole stream and it involved all of that bullshit, right? But we're going off, but then I guess Psycho Mom and them are all going to be working with each other, which is something else we got to talk about, because money is quite involved. Which I think we can finally get into it now. Let me pop up some clips I have. We are going to watch the full stream. We are going to, because I hate myself quite a bit. Right. But there were two particular clips that really caught my attention. That really got the noggin going. Hopefully I got the right one.
We have a two-part.
This. No, wrong clip. But also, with the one of the funniest things I also heard Becky talk about was her competing with Fish Tank. If you're not aware about Fish Tank is it's a program that is run by Sam Hyde. Right? Sam Hyde has Sam Hyde runs Fish Tank. He runs all of that. What makes you think you're competing? Noggin, jogging, yeah. Like, what makes you think you're like? It's one thing to think that you're competing with Keemstar. People could get that, but stupid fucking. It's a video not popping up. Fuck my life. Hold up, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. I have to go through it. But that's what I mean. Like, wait a minute. Like, what makes you think that you're going to compete against Fish Tank? Sam Hyde doesn't know who the fuck you people are. That makes me really like. Is your pride? It's so massive that you think. She said that. Well, some of my fans like Fish Tank, so it makes it difficult. But Fish Tank is basically streaming 24/7 most of it. Becky and Roxy are so lame that dumbass show won't last a week. They already had 3 different streams. We are gonna look at some numbers and we are gonna, compare it to other shows. The numbers for today's shows were not bad. Were not good. All right, so here's the thing. Actually, I should play the first clip because I think that's actually more important. Again, we are gonna watch the stream mostly relating to the stuff with Grace. So bear with me, everybody. Bear. Hold up. I am a. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a professional. Okay. I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Okay, it's popping up. But here's the thing. So, what makes you think that you're competing against Fish Tank? That doesn't even make sense. Wonder what the alternative timeline where Grace and Ben audition for Fish Tank instead of going to Texas to crash Fat Camp. I mean, they would be a lot more successful. Like, if you want my honest opinion, Grace and Ben going to Fish Tank, meeting up with Sam Hyde. Like, weirdly enough, Sam Hyde and Ben would actually agree more on, like, certain theological and social stuff. Like, they would agree on that, right? Like, for the most part, people would say that they do agree with that. And I think in the case of Grace, that would be, like, a massive boost to them. So it would be very interesting. So we're going to watch this clip. They're just writing views from the hype and chaos of it all, but it'll die down just like everyone else who want to sit and listen to Becky and Roxy stream every day. I don't know, just me. The only reason I cover them is because I cover the LCU, so it makes sense in my end to cover them. Sam Hyde and the Dorbs are all in row. Oh yeah, they are. Amron, how you doing, man? How you doing? But here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. Right. Their viewership is already going down. The first stream that Becky had 1,200, but it was going down, and I was Snapchatting that. I was screenshotting that. Right. I even got the numbers. I even got the numbers for it. But if that's the case, like if I still have him on hand, I do have him on hand. So we are going to look at some numbers today. We are going to look at some numbers as well. And it's going to be from like not the today shows they have, but from the day before. So not their Thursday, but I'm pretty sure Ben rambled about Sam Hyde today at some point. Oh no, I understand you're covering it. I'd rather watch you cover it than give her another review spot. Are you talking about the lolcow stuff again? Yeah, it's what I'm known for. Like maybe later on towards the end of the stuff, we may talk about the whole Ethan Klein stuff. But I'm probably the very few. I am probably the only person, maybe not really, who covered the LCU, who is. I don't like Keemstar. I made that very clear. I don't like most of the hosts, but I'm also willing to give them a fair shot if I feel like you have to. I'm not going to be blinded by some sense of morality, or like in the case of the door being like really kind of more or less fucked over. I'm looking at this, and I do have certain biases. I cannot lie. I do have certain biases, but I'm willing to acknowledge that. I'm willing to accept that I have certain biases. Whereas some people, they do, but they kind of lean into it. Even with my own biases, I'm still willing to give the credit. Like, I have a video coming out talking about their pre-show with Dick Gemini and their main show. And I gave Dick Gemini props, right? He got $100, right? He's getting views, he's getting subscribers, he's keeping the full money. Good on you. He's helping Becky. Hey, he's moving up in the world. I wouldn't help Becky particularly, but good on him. You gotta be willing to give props. But I'm not gonna be like, and like, what is it? Like, what is it? Dick Gemini was commenting on like one of the Thorpe streams earlier, and Grace or maybe Ben was just like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of your stuff." Like, are they really a big fan of Dick Gemini stuff, or are they like, are they just sucking his dick? Because I've seen some of his stuff, and I'm just like, okay, maybe it's not for me. It's not for me. Hey, if it gets some views and all that fun stuff, hey, good on him. But it's not for me, and he's playing the game for what it's worth, and I respect that. I'm not gonna bash him. Oh, he's doing like, hey, game is game. You gotta give people props. Like, I give the Dorps prop. I give Ruby prop. I give it hell. I even give Dalmatian Dogs prop. If I'm gonna hate, I'm gonna at least be fair about what I'm hate. I've always been very much about that. Where I don't know where it comes from. Maybe I'm a lot more empirical than I thought I was, or more realistic, because I don't really care for rationalism, because rationalism is G-slur. Ben would rather watch the debate and laundry show. Yeah, but the thing is, Ben goes into these monologue rambling. What I can relate. He goes on these monologue rambling rather, and I have the same problem, but I'm trying to like circle things back. Ben goes into the deep monologue rambling about whatever they're talking about, and then starts to go off the beating path. And then he kind of gets slightly mad that they got off track. Then it's like, come on, dude, talk about what's being talked about. At least with Grace, at least when Grace did misunderstood and cover the LCU, she focused at what she was talking about. It was focused on something. Ben goes into this monologue, and I'm just like, I have no clue what you're talking about, and I feel like you have now derailed the conversation. And if Grace tried to put back, Ben goes into deep delusion, coping. Is it coping most time? Yeah, he kind of does, especially when you bring up things like Courtney. Sam High essentially where Ben wants to be. Have a bunch of humor, suck some gin, Zex. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
So, in true chaotic fashion, my cakes are already a fucking mess because I forgot about them when they were delivered and they were sitting in the sun. My bad. I have 2 cakes.
Oh my god, I have 1.5k subscribers.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Props to that. I'll give her props.
Like 5 or 600.
Wow.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so
that
much.
Is good.
Right, sorry.
So this is strawberry shortcake. This is the one I think I'm going to take to the face. And the other one, which was unfortunately delivered upside down, was because I'm a fat girl and I actually wanted some cake to eat because I hate if I, whatever, I got a second cake. And it was delivered upside down, so this is what we got. Okay. But if I have to do something with this cake too, I'm not necessarily opposed.
Imagine thinking you're any different from the LCU, only to just do the same thing you did in the LCU. I get it. You're trying to like recapture the audience, but you're not doing anything different than what they did. You're doing the same thing. Now, mind you, I've had to mention that they are splitting the money, but Becky and Roxy are splitting their money 50-50. But we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? For the cake in the face, I can, because I do got to get my channel up and running. So maybe I'll do the cake in my face on my channel during the weekend while you're having off. So I'll do a couple streams during the weekend.
Yeah, because it is celebrating your channel, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I do want to keep.
Yeah, there's this weird thing is where you hit 1,000 subscriber and you gotta slam a cake on your face. Why? What is stopping from somebody saying, no, I'm not doing that. I just wanted the 1K sub because it helps me, it boosts me. I'm not doing that. What then? Is she gonna force them? Is she gonna kick them out? Like, what if a bunch of people say, like, no, I'm not doing that? Like, what if somebody has so much self-respect, they're like, no, I'm not. Like, that, it's in a weird way. Like, it's funny how, like, you know, Becky calls the LCU sometimes, even during the LCU, that a cult, but how is this any better? How is this exactly? And I get it, it's like this weird tradition, but it's like, dude, are you just stupid? Are you not self-aware? Maybe I'm being trolled.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so was there anything else for business meeting stuff? I had more stuff I wanted to say. Basically, it was a soft launch this week. Next week is going to be when we really hit the ground running. I have a busy weekend too, but we'll see. That's part of our goal.
Getting dick down
is $500. This is another big thing I wanted to tell you guys because I did the math. Not just for me and Roxy, but for the whole LCU. If we are able to sustain $500 a day on this show,
The whole LCU?
not LCU, BBU, my bad.
BBU. Get that out of your freaking vocabulary. Stop it.
Muscle memory.
Thank you so much, Biggie Smalls.
LCU licking cock universe, all right? BBU, big butt universe. Okay. Anyway, so I'm sorry. It's like I'm telling you,
we should have did the HBIC. Remember they?
Imagine that. 500. They want $500 every single day. 500. So if I'm doing the math right? If I'm doing the math right, they need 500 to sustain the operation. So 500 times 5 is 250 a week. They need EFTs on the floor live. Is he doing good? Is he? I've seen EFT. Holy shit, is he? Is he just so drunk that he just... Hold up. We are going to check this out because I've seen him before in the past. We're gonna go check this out because dude may be going through something. Dude may not be okay. Hold up, guys. The dude is on the ground. What the fuck? I mean, he's playing like copyrighted music, so I'm not gonna like. Obviously, he's just there. I think he should have taken a nap, but it's funny looking. Who isn't going through something in this Sakura low? I mean, it's better than him humping his... Yeah, the distinction was broken out in Door TV chat and got banned 4 times. Yeah, I saw that. Is this man good? Is this man okay? Hold up. When did he collapse? Alright, so he's sleeping. The music really does add to the scene. Yeah, is he playing copyrighted music? Because I ain't gonna let that shit... I'm not gonna get slammed for that. Okay, so he took a quick nap. He's moving the camera. Okay. Gotta check some astro... Gotta check for some astrology. What? Alright. And then he... Alright, so he didn't fall down. He's just sleeping on the ground. I mean, he's vibing. Like, I thought it was something severe. I was like, what the freak? Poor Loco made him sleepy. Is that all he drinks? Is he just drinking Four Locals? Is he just drinking Four Locals all the time? He's probably passed out. He is knocked. He is knocked out. He's gone. He's gone. You like Steel Reserve too, dude? Steel Reserve is fucking disgusting. Steel Reserve is disgusting. You guys got to see my watch history. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm very shocked. I am very shocked, and he is. It's just plaster. Bet on if he pissed himself, probably. I mean, if you're drinking Steel Reserve, probably does Mad Dog. Dude, Mad Dog 2020. Are you gonna kill? Dude, you're gonna kill your liver in Minecraft. What the? Nah, dude's wild. Dude's wilding tonight. He is wilding. I mean, it's not gonna matter. It's just gonna be playing in the background. Let me close that off. Let's get back to the Becky stuff. But I mean, if he does that a lot, I guess it's perfectly fine. I mean, sometimes you just gotta stream floor napping. I guess so. It's the new meta. Okay, let's get back into the dumb shit.
HBICs. Head
What was
bitches
it?
in charge.
Head bitches in charge. Well, that
HBIC.
could be for you, Roxy. You can turn that into something.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
But I find it extra funny. I have to show this clip, actually. I'll get back to that. But our goal is 500 because I crunched the numbers. And if we are able to hit $500 on this channel every day, and we stream 5 days a week, this channel alone would mean, first of all, that would mean Roxy doesn't have to get a real job, and I don't have to get a real job. It means we get to do this and follow our dreams. Right.
So yeah, they had a whole thing about helping people and you know, doing their own dreams, but like some of the other clips I have makes me feel something's not right. Okay, mind you, $500 a day in 1 week, right? You get around 2,500 a week. Which, if you add that up, in 4 months, that's like close to $10,000, maybe around that ballpark. Somebody can correct me on my math. I don't see them doing it. I do not. I'm sorry. Even with ad revenue, even with all of that, I don't see them hitting that goal every single day. I just don't. They will have to do crazy and a whole lot of crazy events or crazy stuff to even hit that goal. They are not gonna hit. They're not going to. I don't even think they even hit 20. I don't think today they hit 500. Let me pull a playboard. I'm gonna pull a playboard because I believe that should be updated now. But imagine that you think that you're going to be able to hit that much money every single day. It's just mind-boggling. Right? Like, let's take a bit of a detour to actually look up the numbers. Their current numbers right now. Hopefully this doesn't. Jesus, sometimes really analytic. Who cares about my email? I mean, you can't even see it, so, but I'm just in case. What I've seen from Becky content so far is sub DSP content. DSP does a better job. DSP does a better job in content. At least he is lazy. He's a fat fuck. But at least he does something once in a while. We're gonna look at super chats today. Right. So total revenue close to 2,000, so 1,600, and they just barely, right? They just barely hit. They just barely, right? They just barely went over 500 by 58 down. DSP is good bar for this sort of thing. Yeah, but I mean, like, the numbers are going kind of down. I mean, like, this day was because Roxy was there, right? But now, like, if they just barely hit, I mean, the first time when they had a shit ton of views, right? Second time, okay, I could kind of see that because Roxy's there. But the now the third time, right? Well, technically, this first time, because it's considered the Supreme Queen's first episode, and then this is considered the second episode. But that's not a good thing. And if Roxy is allowed to stream on her channel on the weekend, well, does it mean that she has to give portion of the money to Becky, or she's allowed to keep that portion? Like, stuff like that is important, right? It's like, regardless if you like Keem or not, at least Keem had a structure to keep everything in line, keep everything in focus. But, like, that's not good. Maybe she was thinking on their second episode they were gonna hit higher. No. And now let's look at their viewership, right? Something that the Dwarves even meant. Now, mind you, I believe Becky said that it would be nice for them to, what the fuck? Did she stream a couple times and people didn't notice? No. Those are views. Those are from actual videos. Never mind. But the viewership has been dropping. They've just been dropping, right? 1,100. I guess YouTube must have corrected it, right? Their highest was 1,100, but the low was 800. But that's her return stream. That's her leaving the LCU. And then they dropped by 400, and then they kept dropping. At some point, they literally dropped below 400. They were at like 388 viewership. But that's like towards the end, right? That's towards the end. But, and tomorrow is Friday, and usually there's, on Friday streams, there's not a lot of people watching because a lot of people are out. And they're moving their time from 6 to 8, which is probably where they're gonna end up making a lot of views and money, but by how much though, right? Queen's viewership already dropped. They're just above 1,000. But again, how long though? Because this isn't looking good. If they need 500 every single day to make end meet, this isn't looking good. Right, you just barely, by $58, just went over your goal. Now, mind you, this $700 right here, it's gonna remove $200. It's gonna cover this much, right? So, I guess the good thing is like the extra like $5 or $4, it's gonna help cover the streams where there isn't a lot of super chat. But again, it's not looking good right off the. And even Ben was correct. They're already plumbing. They're already going downhill. Not very good. Right. That's it's. And I can't say anything. But here's the thing, though. For me, I'm a small channel. I don't expect much, but these people are shooting for the moon, and there's nothing wrong. I would say there's nothing necessarily wrong. I don't understand how any of these get viewership. It's so artificial and forced. Well, Becky and Roxy have their fans. Becky has her simp, and I guess like a small minority of people actually like Roxy, which is like mind-boggling, like that people actually like. I don't get the appeal. I get the appeal if Roxy is with somebody else, but with this, no.
Right?
That will be fucking amazing.
But what's more than that, because I'm not a greedy person, that's enough for me to sustain the entire BBU. The entire BBU.
that they're gonna want more than 500. You know they're gonna slowly say, well, guys, maybe a little bit more would be good to help with some expenses behind the scenes. Expenses? Like what exactly? Right? Maybe she's gonna hire a docket team. Well, that's gonna cost money. Are you gonna have a contract or what? Stuff like that.
So that people have time to grow and I have time to put effort into the other shows. So guys, if you really want to help support us, we're not doing.
I guess I spend time in most hostile community online. I guess so. I mean, I believe you're in Ruby in Grace server. Like, no, I've seen you before in those servers in their chat. I'm generally not very hostile. Like, I'm not very much a hostile person. I don't know. If I ever created a Discord, I probably am gonna be, my rule is don't fight, don't do stupid shit, and I won't ban you.
Becky would not touch anything on our channel.
Yep.
We would start a channel together and grow from there, and then
Now, the second clip caught my interest very much.
with all the subscribers coming from over here and hers and mine, it'd just be good.
So
I
for
think that'd be
channels
great.
that are already monetized, I want those streamers to stay on their channels. They take the income and
Now, hear that. For the channels that are monetized, they get to keep their income. Fair enough. But if your viewership is already down, why would they want to join up with you unless it's just like, so I've been around for some years, Discord is bizarre, it's good for archiving stuff though. It is, that's the reason why I've thought about opening up a Discord, just purely for archiving clips, just for archiving stuff like this and nothing more, right? Just have like 1 or 2 people that can help me archive. I've thought about hitting up decentralized info and a bunch of people like that, for simply for those kind of stuff.
we would, if it's not a joint.
But yeah, that's what I mean, right? So if you're monetized, I guess maybe it's a good idea to join up with them. But like, if you don't like them, you can just leave. But who's gonna join up with them if their views are already crumbling? Maybe we'll have to see later today, Friday, right? If those numbers are down like everybody else's is on Friday, then, well, again, why join up with them? And they're supposed to drink and they're supposed to do gummies on a Friday stream. Who the fuck? I don't. D-Cell is really good for info and resource. Yeah, he is. I'll say that. He is very good. He has a key. He has an eye for that. They're already down to 500 views. Yeah, they already are down, and they want, they're down 500 views, and they want $500 a day, and they just barely hit it today. Again, like, unless you have a strong enough people who are gonna give you a lot of money, I think they're doomed. I think they're already doomed, and Ben already called it. Now, I do want to see what the Ruby response is to that, but Ben already called the death nail, right? And back to this, it's like, if I'm monetized, I'm already making like, if I'm not monetized, right, I can see joining with you guys, but again, I think they got the same or less than Savage. True, but how long is that gonna last in this? Like, Roxy's gonna stream probably this weekend, but that may not get more than like less. That probably gonna get around like less than 200 views, if not even less than that. I'd be amazed if it gets like 300, 400, but it may not be the case.
Join channel, and I was just redirecting to theirs. They would actually have to give me the money,
Right.
whatever percentage it is, and we
See, I don't get this part. Is
directing to theirs. They would actually have to.
okay. So this
they take the
this part got me very interested. Let's hear it a few times.
income, and we would, if it's not a joint channel, and I was just redirecting to theirs, they would actually have to give.
So I don't get that. Right there, it's very troubling. See, if you're joining it with Keemstar, it's different because with Keemstar, you already know what you're getting yourself into, and those channels are mostly, if not directly, owned by those. So Keem should run lolcow stuff like Perry Carol. I'm not pronouncing that. Perry Caravillo is ran probably, yeah. But here's the thing. So again, one more time.
And I was just just redirecting.
You can tell that she had to stop herself from saying something that would damn her, would make people not join her.
Channels, they take the income, and we would, monetized. I want those streamers to stay on their channels. They take the income, and we would, if it's not a joint channel, and I was just.
If they're not a joint channel, right? If they're not, what do you mean by joint? That they're not part of you? Or they're not part of YouTube monetization. That makes sense. But then if they join up with you, you help them get monetized. You take, right?
Just redirecting to theirs, they would actually have to give me the money.
See, that right there is confusing. That right there, it's troubling because, hear me out. And maybe I'm a little crazy, but it feels like, what is stopping from somebody being like, well, can you send the viewership, give me the redirect, and I'll give you X amount? And what's gonna stop her from? She may say, well, I was being fair, and maybe the other person is gonna probably lie for her. But again, it's like, holy shit. Are you telling me that, let's say that person get monetized because of you, because you helped them get monetized. Now they owe you something. Again, what is it stopping us from saying, fuck you, I'm leaving, and then just walk off? You can't do anything unless you're gonna do something that is very much frowned upon on YouTube. Something that Kim did. If she's going down that route, then do not join her. Do not join her one bit. She's a fucking, that's just, again, one more time.
They take the income, and channels that are already monetized.
So channels that are
those streamers to stay on their channel.
So if I'm already monetized, why the fuck do I want to, like? It's a Perry Carlo. It's a lolcow who makes a ton of money letting people troll the shit out of him for the reaction. They send him a nasty food and he eats it. It can be entertaining. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that could actually be entertaining. We gotta watch him. That actually would be quite entertaining. But again, one more time with this.
Already monetized. I want those streamers to stay on their channel.
So if I'm already monetized, but I want the views, I should join up with you. But at that point, why don't I just go to other people who are not gonna backstab me? Go to friends. Go to people I already collaborate. Why don't I just go to them instead of you? Right? Because you're not going to keep that 500 viewership. It's already dropping. Why join her then? She think people are stupid? I guess so. I guess what she's doing is she is using her name, and that name is going to bring in people. But who really knows about Becky outside of the LCU? People know about Keemstar. People know about Wings. They know about Billy the Frizz. People know about Xylee. People know about Tina, Michael, Boogie. Right? Those people from the LCU, the original-ish people know them. All the other hosts, people don't know them. Maybe Ken, slightly, maybe people know Ken, maybe outside of the LSU, but not really. Which is very funny, because every time, Cafe is the only place where I can comment, and I always have the best interaction with Ken. He's one of the very few hosts that I genuinely do like. Which is very funny, because on lolcow Nerds, there's been a few times where I've comment stuff on their live stream, and it's instantly banned. Either I'm shadow banned, or they have completely blocked me on Nerd, which is very confusing, because I'm like, yeah, I'm critiquing this stuff, but like at the same time, I'm like, hey, People like their stuff. I may not be a big fan of Zay. I'm not the biggest fan of One Buff, but like, hey, people like their stuff, and I get it. I give them props for making Nerds a lot better than it was originally. But I don't give a shit. Honestly, I hope Keem doesn't take her ass back. I don't think he will. But there is kind of a good theory floating around that, there's a good theory floating around that this may be a psyop. Becky wasn't known until she wanted little R2. Yeah, I'll give her props that maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe people knew about her, but like I really doubt it by that much. By that much, I doubt people really knew you. You were probably from what I understand, she's from Gore World, and that she tried to date one of Booty Beauty's boyfriend. Yeah, this is fucking disgusting. First off, so there's that. Same thing, Roxy. So make you kind of think about that. On the other hand, also, and around that period of time, she met up with RTU, and remember, RTU proved everything that she was saying was a lie. Her channel has been dead for years. So to think that, now I have, and she glowed about it, like, I have 40,000 subscribers, much bigger than lolcow queens. I'm like, oh yeah, Girl World is crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch Girl World. I know better to stay away unless it's directly about foodie beauty, right? Or talking about people who talk about foodie beauty. But I am not going near Girl World. You have to pay me quite a bit, because from what I understand about Girl World, they are fucking insane. But again, back to what I'm saying. I think it was 60K. Is it 60K now? I don't know. I'll check right now. Give me. No. Right now, her main channel, right? Becky's main channel has only around like 40K subscribers. So yeah, you have more subscribers than Queens, but Queens has more viewership. They are very crazy, yeah. But Queens has more viewership than you right now, so your subscriber doesn't mean jack shit. And to be fair, subscribers only mean a certain amount. If you're making video, then it does matter for that. But having a high subscriber number does not equal higher viewership. They are channel of similarness that are of similar, if not bigger than EFC update. He is eating pizza on the floor. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna go check it. Doesn't she have a couple? She has like another gaming channel, but that's about it. Like, and that's what I mean. And she tried to use that, like, oh yeah, well, with both my channel combined, I have around 60K. Okay, but that doesn't mean jack shit. You're not using those subs. You're not using that channel for anything. So you have right now 40K on your main channel where you're hosting the Supreme Queen, which is a dumbass name, but whatever. And you're barely even pulling now as we speak. Maybe tomorrow they'll do better, but you're barely pulling 500 viewership, or you're barely getting past that 500. There are channels who are more bigger than you who barely even get 2K, 3K on their live stream, right? It's a Gundam is somebody who I watch who is close to 1 million subscribers. He barely even gets like 2,000 or 3,000. He barely gets 2,000 viewerships. Kirsa, right? Who has around, it's her dumbass ego. Yeah, it is her ego. Ego. There we go. Peppa, right? A VTuber. She gets around, who's around, I believe Peppa has around like 100 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, something like that. She's one of the biggest star of Phase Connect in English. She only gets around like 3,000 or 4,000. The only other channel that I can think of that has a big subscriber base and gets a shit ton of subs, I mean, shit ton of viewers, are people like people who have been streaming, or they don't stream a lot, but when they do stream, it gets like Mr. Medicare. Every time Mr. Medicare streams, it gets around like 10 to 15k views. The last time he streamed was out of the blue. The last time that Mr. Medicare streamed out of the blue, the man was already hitting 7, 8, 10,000 viewership. Dr. Disrespect, right? Is streaming who is Dr. Disrespect. It's very big. He has almost HFF has almost 400k subscriber. Yeah, right, but that's what I mean. It's like, just because you have a high sub does not equal a high viewership of live streaming. Even big channel, like, it helps, right? It helps a lot, right? So if you have a big channel and you start live streaming, it helps, but you're not gonna get a lot. There are probably channels who do YouTube short live who are smaller, and yet they get more views. It's like all the math isn't adding up. Lolcow Live with almost got to 100,000 subscribers, with only pulling like anywhere between like 3,500 to 4,000 views, maybe more. So to think that your 40k means anything, it really doesn't when it's coming to live streaming. Even big channels have dead subs. Yeah, that's what I mean. So that it doesn't mean shit, right? Like somebody like me, I have to make a video every single day just for me to be picked up. I have to at least stream more than once a week, right? Just to be picked up. And I'm happy. Like I'm genuinely low. They get like 50 to 60 views. HFF peaked, and now they're just stuck on hating on Ava. Oh, Healthy Family Force. Yeah, that's hilarious. I know about them through Ava. Are you autistic? Yes. Oh, artistic. Yes. I am quite artistic. I am supreme artistic. We are supreme. I was gonna make a Ellie and Roger joke, but never mind. I'm not doing that. I'm also very tired, and I barely got enough food in my stomach, so we're just powering through this. I may drink a cup of coffee, guys. You know what, guys? If we get 100 likes and 20, yeah. It's the grind is real. SOB couldn't do it. Yeah. Like you have to work towards it, right? You have to work every day till your bones are tired, right? And some people don't make it. Maybe I will never make it, but that's fine, because I still enjoy streaming to the people who are watching me now. I still, even if there was 5 people, and out of those 5, maybe 3 of them are commenting, I'm perfectly happy with that. But I'm not sure if they would be happy with that. All right, let's finish. Let's get through this clip.
At 9, it'd just be good.
So for channels that are already monetized, I want those streamers to stay on their channels. They take the income, and we would, if it's not a joint channel, and I was just redirecting to theirs, they would actually have to give me.
See, right there is a big red flag. Like, again, why am I going to join? So if I'm not joined and you help me get joined, and I'm paying for redirects, at least in the lolcow Live, it's basically free. It's a guarantee redirect. That's how the whole ecosystem works. But with this, I'm like, okay, I join up, I get monetized, I can just fucking leave. And there's nothing you can do unless you pull a Keemstar where, or allegedly you pull a Keemstar, right, and you get people channel taken out. But that's allegedly, that's only a rumor. That is a rumor. Rumors, allegedly. But again, what's stopping me from just saying, fuck you, I'm not paying you a cent. Unless you're that loyal or that much of a simp. But at that point, then yeah, you don't deserve anything. But then by that logic, she gets to determine the price point of the percentage. So it could be anywhere between like literally 5% to 25 or even 30%. And if that channel isn't making a lot of money every single day, and those people are not going to stick around, right? In the LCU, people come and go for each individual show, right? So you can just say they have 500 viewership and they send it to a whole separate channel that doesn't normally get that much. Most of the people are going to drop off. But then, like, what if another channel say, like, well, what if I give you more of my percentage for today's stream? Can you redirect to me rather than, like, there's going to be some bloody competition that may not be good. And it's going to cause those people to be like, well, I don't want to join you. And she can only pick one redirect at a time. So I have a feeling that she may end up playing favors for certain stuff, for certain channels. It's funny how she thinks that she's the female Keem. She really isn't.
The money,
Right.
whatever percentage it is, and we have to have trust there with that.
But who's gonna trust you? Like, genuinely, real question. Like, for real, who's gonna trust you? Right? Like, I don't think there's gonna be much people that's gonna trust you. Okay, let me pull up the next clip before we start watching the actual streams. Because we are gonna watch Dick Gemini stream first, and then we're gonna watch the other stream. Is it this one?
Everything, Becky would not touch anything on our channel.
Yep.
We would start a channel together and grow from there. And then with all the subscribers coming from over here and hers and mine, it'd just be good.
So
I
for
think that'd be
channels
great.
that are already
Okay, so we already did that. Something is interesting, but I must have just, like an idiot, glazed red. Okay, so here it is.
not, but mostly links.
So here is where she announced that we will watch the full stream, but I just want to give you a snippet.
Not, but mostly links, Grace, and me. And we actually
She mentioned Tina, but do you think Tina really is going to join up with them? Keem is never going to let that happen. Neither is Michael. And the fact that Tina actively does not like Grace, she doesn't like, doesn't like Lynx. She fucking hates Roxy, and she does not like Becky. Do you think that Tina is really going to join up with her? But in here, she says she wants to meet up with Lynx and Grace. But Roxy says something that more or less kills that.
do it IRL, an IRL meetup.
Okay, but
I don't think Lynx is. I mean, maybe Lynx will get a passport because I heard it. I don't know if it's still going to happen. She was supposed to meet up with Ruby, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I want to say it right now, and I told you in the beginning, Becky, I don't feel comfortable working with Lynx or them or the Thorpes because when I first started in the LCU, they tried so hard, and they probably did to dox me.
Tina's lawyer was fucked to Mike. Yeah. Here. Why the fuck would you say this, Roxy? You could have kept this in secret and maybe talk to Grace and Lynx. I mean, Lynx says, okay, Lynx is shut. Like in my video covering Grace talking to Lynx, Lynx makes it very clear she doesn't want to get involved. So what makes you think, Becky, that Lynx will get involved? Unless, like, what? Like, Lynx already said, like, the multiple reasons she doesn't trust Becky. So let's, again, one more time. In this moment, when she said doxing, Becky should have stepped in and be like, no, that's not true, Roxy. It was somebody else. Don't believe that.
Right now, and I told you in the beginning, Becky, I don't feel comfortable working with Lynx or them or the Thorpes because
Becky should have stepped in and just calm Roxy down. But like a fucking moron, you let it keep going on. Holy shit. I just realized my volume is very high. I apologize if I kill some people's ears. Holy shit, how stupid are you?
when I first started in the LCU, they tried so hard, and they probably did to dox.
They tried so hard, and they probably did to dox her. First off, Lynx responded to this on her Discord. She straight up said she wasn't even involved with the LCU or even knew who Roxy was. She did not knew at that point because she was done. She wanted no more involvement. Right? She just wanted to be left alone. At that point, she wasn't even watching any of the LCU. Maybe she should have. Maybe she heard of Roxy, but it was probably through people like me who was talking about the LCU, not actually watching the show. And the Dwarfs did not give a shit about Roxy. They didn't even. It wasn't even a thought in their head to think about Roxy. So the fact that you think, and then even straight up said, well, they did dox you. So are you telling us that Psycho Mom didn't help? You know, because remember, supposedly, remember that whole situation when Psycho Mom said some stuff and it got her doxxed? Right? So what is it? Was it Psycho Mom that accidentally said something that got you doxxed, or was it Grace and Lynx? Nothing is adding up.
But even it's just a one-off. It's a one-time show. This is not working out. It would be. We could talk.
So it was, and after that, this started a huge fight between Grace and Becky, which caused Grace to do a response stream. The Dorks don't give a fuck about Roxy. No clout to gain. Here's the thing. Being on both servers, they're very much not for doxing. Grace does not like doxing for the most part. And the only person that I can think of maybe from that server is probably Tropic, but Tropic is a fucking moron, so no one gives a shit about him. And the situation about Lynx was pinned for doxing, even though actually Becky had a helping hand in getting Lynx doxed and getting the government. This was scripted. They already explained that I'm live. Michael is the owner of the Queen channel. If you don't know, So that was scripted already explained. Yeah, I'm aware. So that's what makes it even interesting. But here's the thing. Why even go through this? Why even accuse the people that were, that was already scripted. They already explained that I'm live. That Michael's the owner. Yeah, we are aware that Michael's the owner, right? We are aware how scripted. But again, mind you, that they all falsely accused and people still believe that Lynx had doctors and all that. I'm sorry, but that's unexcusable. Even if it's scripted, you fucked up. And they still believe in that lie. And now in this situation right now, the situation with Psycho Mom, that's a whole different situation in itself. And also, you gotta remember, supposedly Psycho Mom was doxxed by Becky. I think that's been proven to be kind of scripted at this point. Cause there was so many flip-flop with that whole story that just at some point it just didn't make sense. She first accused of Becky doxing her, then Becky didn't dox her, but then she did dox her, and then he didn't. It was just a dumbass, why? You just made that worse. Maybe they thought it was a good idea, and then they realized, oh shit, it's gonna actually cause a lot of problems. Situation. Yeah, you know how Becky wants to be the victim. Yeah, but in this situation, it's dude. And from here on, her and Grace started fighting. Ruby got involved somewhere in the mix, and that was an interesting one. That was an interesting. And I know Ruby did a response stream to all of that, so I gotta watch that. We're gonna go maybe see a little bit of that. But again, in this moment, Becky should have just straight up told Roxy, no, don't worry. I'll handle it behind the scenes. We'll talk about it. Let's just move on. That's what Becky should have done. The whole LCU is fucking scripted. I don't want to hear it since Michael joined the TCU. It's been scripted. Situation. Today's new word is situation. Smoky. Okay. And I'm denying the whole LCU is scripted. But the fact that I don't know. At some point, you gotta believe certain things are real, but maybe just me coping at this point. But I don't know. That's maybe just me coping. But again, we're not talking about the LCU. Speak right, motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Smoke. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Okay, let's be serious. Okay, but no. Again, my point is that like you're falsely accusing people with no evidence. Should have been stopped. You should have just been completely stopped at this point. Like, Jesus Christ, save us all. Save us all. So we're gonna probably watch the actual mainstream because that's where everything went to hell. Between you know, Becky and Grace, and obviously Grace would do a response stream, so we're gonna probably just speed that up. Do I have it on it? Yes, I do. What's your point on covering Becky? Why did everybody have to cover Becky? That don't make sense. So what's your point on covering? Because I already cover the LCU as it is. So in my head, it makes sense to, hello, this is just came out what this all about. Thanks. To answer your question, Aaron, I've been covering Becky because of the LCU. And since now she left the LCU, I decided why not just cover that, because there are some people who are not going to watch either or, and so they use me as a vehicle to, you know, as a way to watch the LCU without actually supporting the LCU or now the BBU. So now people use me sort of as that like vehicle, because I'm the only person. I'm the only person that does it. I hate myself sometimes. She's in the ICU. She's doing home things now. Who? Becky? You mean the LCU? No, Becky left the well, supposedly, right? She supposedly left. Because Becky now decided to do her own network, right? Becky has now doing her own network that has only just started. Like, today's Friday. Started Tuesday. She had her. Was it Monday? Well, technically, the first show was Wednesday. Her first show of the Supreme Queen, which is on her channel, started Wednesday. That's an excuse to just drag her. I guess so. If you want, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop. All right. I'm still gonna cover. You know, but they haven't really dragged her up that much. I mean, Tina has brought up Roxy and Becky already at this point. All right, so let's start. Let's start.
We've got part business meeting to talk about what our future is looking like. We also launched a brand new show today. It was a soft launch over at Thick Gemini's channel. It was very fun.
Yeah, they did a whole new channel. They did a whole new thing on Thick Gemini. I mean, I didn't forget about it. I'm just gonna skip it for now.
Subscribe and show your support. Make sure you click that bell so you get all the notifications. Gemini has been very, very helpful over here. I wouldn't be able to do this without him. And without further ado, hopefully today will not be as chaotic as yesterday, even though it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. But my idea over here, at least,
it looks like she cleaned up her room because you can tell by the reflection of the glasses.
As we get started, is we'll probably have some very fun streams and crazy streams, punctuated by calmer ones, and that's what today is going to be, unless
holy shit!
She's crazy. So, all right, let's bring Roxy.
That's very bright. That sound it's very bright over there.
Hi, Roxy. Oh, what would you do on the shades now? What the fuck?
I got my Roxy shades on. See, Roxy.
How'd you get that?
My daughter.
Is that a brand or was that custom?
It's a brand.
Low Queen failing like crazy right now. It's so bad. Yeah, it is. Trust me, it is. I'm enjoying it. I'm quite enjoying that fall of Queens right now. JK.
If you could get your own brand, you're going to do our merch then. You'll have to be head of merchandising.
Imagine. I'll get there.
They were saying yesterday.
You can. Oh my God! Imagine it. Imagine them doing merch. Imagine that. Imagine. Imagine.
Oh my God. Hi everybody. Thank you guys so much for being in.
I always liked Ruby from the start. I think she's great.
Read,
Oh,
look, read.
Ruby, we love it. Yeah, Gemini was amazing.
Oh, what is this? What is this we see? Interesting server she's part of. Actually, no, these are people that see directly content. Ah. So she is part of Ruby. Ah. Ah. I didn't even realize this. I didn't even realize this at all. Quite interesting there. Maybe shouldn't have kept this up. Maybe not at all. Got some interesting people there. Right? Got some interesting people. Is that Pigtails maybe? ETX? And that, oh, is that Lynx? No, I don't think that is Lynx. Actually, I'll check right now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she finally got around to contacting, directly, talking to Lynx. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff, I see. Interesting. This is very, very interesting stuff I see. Right? They really caught my interest. I forgot what I was trying to do. Shit. Sorry guys. I got lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Trying to figure something out as we speak. Interesting development. Interesting, very well. Sorry guys, sorry if this is interesting. I guess you can say I didn't even realize this. She was part of Ruby server. See Psycho Mom, which we know that she was gonna collab. Some other people, we see one from Lynx would probably mean anything. ETX and other people as well. Ooh, interesting stuff. Maybe should have not shown this. Very, very interesting stuff. I gotta come back to this and screenshot this because some people, I'll tell you what, I make my own mistakes. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Becky, should have not shown this. Everybody should, if you're gonna do stuff like this, maybe it's smart to create a separate Discord account for business only, and then switch back and forth. Because I have a feeling Keemstar does that as well, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Keemstar has his own private Discord, right? That isn't connected to Damn, she's in too many servers for me. You need to stop hating. That's what they don't think you should do. The channel sucks. You need to stop hating. That's what they don't think you should do. The channel sucks. Hey, you can leave. I'm not asking anybody to stay at all. You can leave, Aaron. I don't really care. I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. So if you want, you can just leave. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like nobody's, who cares? Let's move on. Yeah, but it's got this is very interesting. This is very interesting in my eyes.
Have some amazing
Shouldn't have never shown that.
Asylum, thank you so much for your support. Dropped 10 gifted memberships.
Oh my God,
Put that
thank
a
you.
little lower, a little loud. Yeah, like that. And even more, then Ani decided to one-up Gamers Asylum and dropped the 20 bomb. Thank you so much. And Ruby, thank you for becoming a member. And anyone who became a member before the stream, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I was in here earlier and I seen a few people become members and everything. Thank you, Ruby, so much.
Thanks, Ruby. We love it. Appreciate you. You know, Ruby, I want to talk to you too about bringing you in here somehow. You know, we have to have a little talk. We got to have a talk. You've got that chaos energy. We need more of that.
She was yesterday, I think, and I kind of popped in there. I like her energy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who she is. I never watch it, but I like her energy.
I've always liked Roxy. What the? I didn't always like you.
Stop
You were
thinking
a
about me.
problem.
Moi?
I always liked Ruby from the start. I think she's great.
Me, Marie. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We gotta think of something for the gifted. We gotta do something.
We've got to do something. We'll come up with more stuff. This week, I guess we'll go into a little bit of the business meaning stuff. But first, if you received a gifted membership, guess what that means? That means that you can join the Discord. Because the Discord is open to the lowest tiers. So even at $1.99, you can join the Discord so that if you did enjoy LCU content and you want to enjoy this too, you don't have to stop supporting them. You can afford both.
Absolutely. Yep.
That was a part of the plan. Because I don't want to do anything to purposely hurt.
I mean, I would still use a monitor. If it's like not that damaged, I would probably still use it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
We need a place for the baddies go. All right, robust American style. Welcome to Becky Gang.
You're doing amazing, Becky. We are.
I've got to get emojis made for you in the chat, and also Roxy.
Yeah.
We have to get you on the subreddit. We have to, and in the Discord more.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the past couple days has been hectic.
Yeah.
Seriously, but I will promise. Oh my gosh.
Local boy, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. And Kelly
You guys
Cochran,
are
welcome
awesome.
to Becky Bang. I said Becky Bang. Welcome to
Becky
Becky
Bang.
Bang.
Becky Bang. Yes, I will. You got to teach me the subreddits. I've never been on them, but I will get in there and I will be more active in the Discord. I promise. I promise. Just give me today and tomorrow. I should be back tomorrow.
You take your time. There's no pressure. So here's what's going on in my head. Here's the business meeting part. And actually, well, I'll get to this part after.
I mean, we already covered this stuff, but
This week,
you know.
in my opinion, has been like a soft launch. We're testing everything. We didn't have a lot of stuff planned. We just jumped right in because time was of the essence and we had to get moving immediately, right? So we're starting by hitting the ground running and we're going to be iterating quickly.
How long have I been streaming? That's a real question.
I've got to catch up this weekend.
I've been streaming almost an hour and a half. Holy shit. Good on me. Good on me for streaming this long. I thought, it was, you know, I really thought I was only gonna. I would. Wow, I can't speak.
You see my Roxy shoes, right?
She fucked it up. There were she fucked it up too, where there was a line on the screen. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one.
Yeah, is that the same brand? No,
well, I don't know.
Brantley made those, right?
Brantley gave them to me. So, and then this is just my daughter got them for me.
Okay, so
I'll wear these for the stream because I don't want to take this off. But go ahead.
I think you just want to be like me. You dyed your hair black like me. You're wearing sunglasses.
Fuck off.
What?
Fuck all the way off, bitch. Like you. This is the worst thing I ever did. Everything looks bald.
I know.
I'm
That's hilarious.
afraid to dye it. I'm so scared. I don't go to professionals. I'm so afraid to dye it.
Well,
my daughter bought me. Listen, my daughter went to Sally's and bought me hair dye, and she's like, "Ma, can I dye it?"
I mean, if it's thinning in it, and you know, on top of that, if you're bowling, about oh my god, I can't speak. If you're already thinning like that, and you're losing hair, you may want to try different shampoo or do something with your health. Eat right, because that's not a good thing.
I'm like, nah.
That's what I learned.
Once you go black, you never go back. In particular, with hair dye. Good luck, bitch. You're fucked.
I know. I'm dirty blonde. I don't know why I ever did this.
I don't know either. You're not a natural redhead?
No, whore. What the fuck do I look like a natural redhead? I'm Italian and native. Why would I be a redhead?
Didn't you start with red hair?
She's not redhead?
Came around, it looked red to me. Are you gonna call it strawberry blonde? Are you one of those bitches?
No, it was a fuck up actually. I tried dyeing my hair like a purplish color. It turned orange.
Do you think they'll end up breaking TOS?
All right, guys. All right. So here's
Probably. They are kind of. I mean, the LCU. I know that lolcow live. They nearly broke TOS a few times. I know that for a fact on lolcow live. They nearly broke TOS. And same thing for Queen, same thing for Milker. So there is a chance that they may slip up. And if they do, they're kind of fucked.
That's what we're going to do for today. This is part of the business meeting. I would like to start a new company tradition. A little, I talked about this on Gemini's channel, so some of this might be a bit of a repeat, but it's the first time for a lot of you hearing it. I wanted to start a new tradition here, an homage to where we came from. And in order to do that, what I thought we would do is every time a host here hits a major milestone, they take a cake to the face. But not in a humiliating way, in a fun way. And if hosts don't want to do it, they don't have to. But
Hey, Haley. Hey. She said it.
It's fun.
She said it.
And it's silly and stupid. So Gemini hit a major milestone. He hit 1,000 members on his, or 1,000 members, 1,000 subscribers on his channel. Huge.
Becky, when you get to 40K, like you don't think of subscribers. A subscriber is huge to us. Like it is a member to you. So yes.
It is very huge. It, I was very happy when I hit 100 subs. So yeah, that's fair.
She throws me off. This bitch, like, I'll just be doing whatever, and then she takes my attention, and she makes me forget whatever the fuck I'm saying. So Gemini smashed the cake to his face on his show, and unlike in that other place that we all came from, I'm not above doing the same thing myself because this channel hit a milestone too. Also subscriber related, Roxy, bitch.
Hey, yeah. Actually, I hit 1,000. I hit over 1,000K too. So 1,000 subscribers also. So I do owe a cake. Yes.
You knew that, and you didn't get yourself a cake in time for this stream, Miss Roxy.
I know. You see
Well,
exactly what I have.
Lucky for you, I have 2 cakes. So if I need to, here's what I have for us. And this is going to be, we have a 2-part goal for today, okay? So, in true chaotic fashion, my cakes are already a fucking mess because we delivered, not LCU, BBU, my bad.
BBU. Get that out of your freaking vocabulary.
We're just gonna move on.
You're the boss. But on channel.
Hey, Ro.
With HBICs.
What was it? You want to help us grow? You're going to help not only me and Roxy live our dreams, but help everyone who comes with us live their dreams as well. And I'm going to put every fiber of my being into making this happen.
That's
all right.
Awesome. That is great.
KMG.
I'm also going to help. Anything I can do, I know I'm small, but if you guys need somebody up on channel, anything, I'm willing to help anywhere. So.
KMG, why do you want me to shave my eyebrows so bad? Do you have a humiliation
That's all they
fetish?
say.
Why do they want my eyebrows in particular? Like, I shaved
know.
my whole head. I wouldn't even think people care about eyebrows anymore.
I wonder how long, right? I wonder how long it would take for him to start doing stuff like that. It kind of dawned on me, like, how long, like, how long would it take for them to be so desperate that they're gonna have to start shaving their eyebrows, shaving their heads, like stuff like that, like what, in a week, 2 weeks? Because eventually, like, they gotta do more stuff like that to even keep up with their operation, the expense.
I'm very proud to. We have 400 something viewers here right now, which is actually incredibly good because we're up against not only lolcow Live, we're also up against Fish Tank, which is a different show.
Oh wow.
So we're up against major heavy hitters.
But the Fish Tank doesn't make any sense because Sam Hyde doesn't even know who you are probably. If he does, it's probably like, oh yeah, that crazy woman that works for GameStar. He's probably thinking of like Grace or maybe Lynx. But I wouldn't really think that like Sam Hyde would know who you are exactly, or even Roxy. I wouldn't be surprised if like this isn't even like a blimp in his radar. But it's quite arrogant to say something like that.
Because of that chat, I wanted to ask you something. Because Roxy thought that maybe we should keep streams at 8 p.m., right? Did you want to talk about that at all instead of 6 p.m.? What were your thoughts on that, Roxy?
Well, I mean, it kind of explains itself. I mean, lolcow Live is lolcow Live. They're going to be a big show no matter what. You know, not saying the other shows are shit, but we're up against one of the biggest shows in the network on YouTube. So I think if we go to 8, we'll probably have a better chance because not to be rude, but Queens is dying. Queens is dying. So we have a better chance of getting.
Yeah, I wish the Queen is dying. That I shall give them.
That's just my opinion.
Kimbal's and bits with $10. It's not much, but I appreciate y'all. That is everything. Everything.
Amazing, yes.
No dollar left behind. It is all helping us with our dreams. Seriously, as one person said, was it Remy? As Remy just said in the chat, if everyone gave $1, we'd be at $400, and that's basically our goal, right?
Yeah.
So,
Wait a minute. So they changed it from 400 to 500. I didn't realize that till now. Holy shit. So are they already like moving the goalposts from like, oh well, if you give us 400, that'd be great, right? But we need 500 to keep the operation going. Though they're full of themselves. 100% Clifford. 100% Clifford. But again, like, so how long would it take them from moving from 500 to 600? But if they're unable to make the 500, are they going to push it back to 400? Or even lower? It's making me kind of think that, like, they're shooting for the moon.
First hour of a show.
I realize the volume isn't high. My bad, guys.
Possible. Let me run a poll right now because, guys, I want to know from
Okay,
you.
no, maybe the volume is high. I'm just stupid.
What time would you prefer us to be? Do you prefer 6 or do you prefer 8? Let me set up that poll.
I think they agreed at 8 o'clock, so their next stream, which is tomorrow, should be at 8 o'clock, which is supposed to compete against Queens, which may actually do better, but for how long? Because
okay, I just put up the poll.
it's all Becky and Roxy dumb enough. Is dumb enough to believe. It's all Becky and Roxy is dumb enough to believe her. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what I like. We've got to do what works best. Glock loaded with $20 for the goal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of 8 p.m.s at 69%, my magic number.
So wait, is there a reason why you like 6 p.m. better?
Yes, the reason why I like 6 p.m. is because it allows us to reach a European audience in the UK.
That's true.
Because for them, the show starts at 12, and some people will stay up late enough for that when they have work the next morning. But if we start at 8, then for them it starts at 2 a.m., and a lot of people can't make it. So that's why. But since
But here's the thing, though. Do you really think a European audience is really gonna watch you? Like, that's what makes me even more confused. Like, just move it to 8 o'clock. But the European audience probably are like either, you know, they're not gonna watch this stuff. Maybe like some of the English people, like the English speaking audience, like the Irish and like those, like the Anglo world, right? Like, you know, like the United Kingdom and Ireland, they may watch you, but I don't think like someone from Germany or France or Italy. No, like maybe someone from England, but like how many people in England are gonna know lolcow queen offhand? Like that doesn't make sense. At least with like the LCU, they have somebody from England, so that's that right there is appealing. If you're a British person, you see someone in the LCU who's British or even Australian, that's more appealing to watch them than watch somebody else who it's just what?
Came from Queens, all my viewers are used to watching me at 8, so it is possible that regardless, 8 is just better, and I put a different show in this time slot. Yeah, Caitlin, I'm thinking of you guys.
I mean, you can do that, but is that show gonna do any? I mean, obviously, it's not gonna do better unless they have someone like Savage. But I don't think. I think maybe because I know Savage around like 6 o'clock. He has something to do, so that's gonna be a hard cookie.
Like maybe three or four times a week, or maybe even the weekends. I can do it, fill a spot on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's up to you. So that way we'll always have something going. You know.
Oh, 11 p.m. They're saying UK is 11 p.m. I'm a little off. I'm just using estimates from what I've seen people say before. So yeah,
but I mean, I said the guy on LCU is New Zealand. LC, yeah, Rastop is from New Zealand. So there's.
I am thinking of our UK viewers too, but I will try. Maybe tomorrow we should do 8 p.m.
That's what I'm thinking, just to see what the numbers look like differently. I'm not trying to be greedy or anything, but this is if we want to do this.
Depending on tomorrow or technically today's stream, it may actually decide the fate of this stuff.
You know, to put all our time and effort, we got to think of it as a business, on the business perspective.
Well, because the thing is, this is going to be our flagship show.
Which is funny because talking about business, like Becky had a degree in that, if I remember.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about the LCU this time on purpose, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So this show will be like the lolcow live.
Well, right. So this is our flagship show. So like over in the LCU, lolcow live was their flagship show, and the entire network grew as that show grew. And over in the LCU, you couldn't really grow outside of your show or outside of the like cult. Let's just call it what it fucking is because it's a cult. So
I'll be surprised if Savage joins these two. Darcy hated Becky. I think she may join them or not. I'm not even sure because Savage is weird. I think Savage mentioned that she wants to bury the whole Becky and her Harvard extension. The thing about Savage is she doesn't have really anything too particular against Keem, but I know she has a disdain toward Xylee, and that's the reason Savage is joining up with them because it's a jab on Xylee. But as I said before in the video, going up against Xylee, like 1-to-1, it's kind of very stupid. Because Xylee, who is a commenter, and a pretty good one if you want my honest opinion, in the sense that she can get videos, she can get clips, and she can paint the story better than Savage, you're going to have a hard time going up against that. So, you know, you're kind of boned, and Savage kind of being the way she is, it's not gonna win that one. She may win in terms of just brute force through words, but not through like what actually matters. So take that as it is. So they both think they are more interesting than they are. Becky is unstoppable and Roxy is stupid. I watched Xylee on her channel. I'm not the biggest Xylee fan, but like I'm not stupid enough to go pick a fight with her unless it's like something actually serious. Like, and even then, again, like she doesn't know who I am. I doubt she is, and that's probably for the best. You know, not to toot my own horn, because I am a small shrimp in this pond.
Got suspended. We got everything. It just wasn't okay there. Here, it's the opposite. Every show can grow. That's what we fucking want.
She ain't one to fuck with. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Even though we're going to be the flagship show, it is possible that we could try the different time slot and build up another show for a European audience.
Yes. Yeah.
Saying 8 to 10 is the best time.
But the thing is, like, what are you gonna do to appeal to the Europeans? Because a European mindset is way different than Americans. I mean, even Keemstar has a hard time even trying to appeal to most European and other other Anglican speaking world, other Anglican speaking countries like South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Canada. Like, maybe Canada is different because their time zone are closer to America, but like something isn't making, like, something is not, like, she has to realize, like, what are you doing that is appealing to the Europeans? Like what is it? Like, what are you gonna do? What kind of show? Like look at Nightmare. Yeah, but then that means you have to find somebody from Europe who is of European descent who can appeal to Europeans. But then the issue is you have a European mixing with a bunch of them. You need to have a subject that is very broad. Sorry. You need to have a subject that is very broad that can appeal to anybody in the English speaking world. But then, depending on who they pick in that channel particularly, may not get any real traction. But then you're having a show going beforehand. Wouldn't it be better to you have your show go at 6 o'clock and then the next show goes at 8 o'clock and you direct everything to that? You don't do the reverse. You don't do it. The reason why Keemstar, except that like for like 2 or 3 weeks, he kept the time at 6 o'clock. Right? I mean, sometimes he would stream at 4 o'clock, sometime at 4:30. Like, but those were the good old days before all of this happened. Yeah, but my point is back to my original point. Wouldn't it be better to keep your show at 6 o'clock and then you help build the next show, what would be at 8 o'clock? Don't do the reverse. Have a smaller show beforehand, because people are not gonna care for that smaller show. It's a problem. It took a while. I mean, it didn't take a while for Queen. I don't know. This is so fucking stupid. They're still working for Keem. Dorp TV tried talking with Becca and she got blocked, same with Lynx and Ruby, so that shows she's under Keem control. He found what was peak time. Yeah. Thomas. Yeah, I saw that. I know that she blocked Lynx. She blocked Grace, but she didn't block Ruby. That I'm pretty sure that Becky has not done. Becky has not blocked Ruby yet. The only reason I know that for a fact is because if she would have blocked Ruby, it would have been right after she blocked Ruby, but she didn't. And she kept letting Ruby. This isn't a dog against Ruby. This isn't a jab. It's just what I saw. So Ruby isn't blocked at all for now. But Grace and Lynx probably are because of this, which is, what do you expect? So something is not adding up. Who the fuck is? How are you guys up? It is 1:39. Why are you guys up with me at 1:39? Talking about a bunch of retards on the internet. Hey, Join the ride. Fuck it. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. All right. It looks like everybody wants to try 8. Suffa Horse says 8. Don't fuck over us 9 to 5ers that don't live on the East Coast. All right. Well, so tomorrow we'll try 8, and I'm gonna have to talk to Gemini about his show because I don't know what his schedule is like. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Talk to him about the pregame, but this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of experimenting in the beginning. We're moving very fast. Lillian. Becky and Roxy gonna help as much as I can. You girls are incredible. Thank you so much.
So much.
Yeah, I think what I wasn't counting on was not only going against lolcow Live, but going against Fish Tank as well, which a lot of our audience. I've never watched Fish.
Okay, but why bring up Fish Tank? Like, who? If your audience are gonna want, like, most people have 2 tabs probably open to watch these shows. Like, but then again, like, if you're watching Fish Tank, why are you watching lolcow Live? Right? If I was watching Fish Tank, I'd be watching Fish Tank. Or I have like one device where, you know, you have another show, and then on your main device you have what you're watching, like what you're actually interested in. So I'm a little confused why you would bring Fish Tank. And I don't know if Fish Tank goes on for almost what? I'm pretty sure Fish Tank goes on for like 12 hours, 24 hours, right? So no matter what, you're not gonna be able. You're not gonna win against Fish Tank. I don't understand why bring them up.
Fish Tank, but I've heard of it. But a lot of our viewers watch Fish Tank, so it's just it is a lot of competition. It might be better that regardless.
It's like, you know, it's like if Keemstar says the same thing about Ethan Klein, but the audience for Ethan Klein and LCU are like very different audience. So why bring it up?
The UK and whatever that we move later. I did want to show something funny though. I didn't queue up a clip, so I have to run the stream from the start. I did want to play one lolcow Live clip. I thought it was kind of funny. Let me get it queued up. You could talk to the peoples while I do it, Roxy.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I think. I mean, I'm willing to do, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a week a show on my channel, or maybe we, like Becky said, we can start another show to put in this place. But either way, we will have a show in place. If we're gonna go to.
Sorry. Go ahead.
If we're gonna go at 8 o'clock. I'm such a jumpy bitch. If we're gonna go at 8, if Queen Spears will go at 8, I'll make sure there's something before that, and then Thick Chop and I also.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen so you can see this too, Roxy.
Marijuana says 7 to 9, but go ahead.
7 to 9, maybe. But I'm gonna try 8 because that's what the viewers are used to. So the more seamless it is, the better, I think. So let's just take a quick look at lolcow Live yesterday. And by the way, in the future going forward, we're probably not going to talk about the LCU publicly at all. We're probably gonna make that members only content. But for today, we'll still talk about it.
Wait, but why do that? Like, Ben was right. Like, you should be going at them hard right now to steal as much of their audience. Are you? And what's stopping from people from recording it, leaking it on the internet, leaking it on YouTube, so people don't have to join your membership? Because that's what ended up happening with some of the lolcow Live stuff. Believe it or not, I'm pretty sure it's one of the main reasons why they don't do member streams anymore or do anything like that in the LCU now, because people would just record them and then leak them onto YouTube. Why paywall that? It just doesn't make. That doesn't make sense. That's like a terrible business idea. Like, I think Keem should make Juggernaut to do a show on the L. Oh my god! If he can get Juggernaut, Psycho Mom will literally abandon Becky in a heartbeat.
Oh, I thought. Wait.
But no. But I'm very confused. Why would you paywall something that people want? Maybe I get it that people are willingly going to pay for it. But again, if people don't like you, they're gonna be crazy enough to give you the money only so for them to leak the stuff you're saying about the LCU, or somebody from the LCU is gonna do that anyway. So you. Just do it for free. Just do it on stream. Like 1 or 2 jabs here, and I don't. These are terrible. Ben is right. I gotta say this. I hate to say this, but Ben may be right about what's gonna happen. Holy shit! Chad, am I crazy? It's not even the weekend. I'm not even drinking.
It looked like. Wait a second. Am I on their current live? Oops, wrong one. Let me go back to the right one. Live. Okay.
Brittany, thank you, Sachi. Thank you very much. I feel a lot better.
So just to show you guys this, their whole first beginning of the show, literally 7 minutes. I don't even know what percentage of the show that is. They were just playing AI music, right? Just killing time because they're clearly not passionate about what they do. But I think from the very beginning,
that's a fair point.
Judging by his face, listen to the stuff Keem says. Let's see if this is the right part.
Going on. Did we get shadow banned or some shit?
Yep.
There's only 2,200 people here. The hell. The hell. Anyhow.
Now he goes on about it more, but that's just a bit. Let me just go right back there for a second.
On the entire. Let's get those likes up. Let's get on. Did we get shadow banned or some shit? There's only 2,200 people here.
Well, let me tell you guys something. He's saying, did they get shadow banned? There's only 2,200 people there. Lolcow Live was only averaging about 3K viewers every episode lately. I wonder where those extra 800 went. I wonder where they were.
Yeah, but those 800, you're not getting that extra 800 anymore. Your numbers are dwindling already. You can't act like this. As right now, as we speak, your numbers are dwindling. Maybe you can act like this in a month or two. Fair, but you're not gonna keep those numbers.
Yikes. I can't even believe that's like pulling a third of their audience almost, Roxy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
If it's for you, I don't know, maybe you're so used to dealing with him because
wouldn't that be half? Because wouldn't that be half, not a third? Because a third would be way smaller. Right? Like maybe I'm doing the math wrong, but like, so if they get around, let's say 4,000 to 4,500 viewers, and half of that would be where 2,200, that wouldn't be a third. Let's see, saying that a lolcow Live is getting around 5,000 viewers, then maybe you can say that's the third. But even then, like, I gotta be stupid. Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I'm the dumb one.
Face up there. Why do I feel like my heart drops still? Like, oh my god. We're going crazy. Help.
Oh, quite interesting.
Lost in the Matrix. No, I'm used to it. I'm used to him. I don't get that nervous from him. I always got the shits whenever he would jump up on panel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just like now when I seen his face, it's like my heart dropped. Like, oh my god.
T-Mac, it varied. We were between 500 and 700 for most of the show yesterday. And what I found funny about that is people couldn't even tell him what was going on because he banned everybody. So,
right. That's
right.
That's a really dumb move to do.
The chat people are saying you banned them, and then they're like they're over at the BBU, and I was like, hey.
That is a dumb move on Keem. He needs to stop. Keem needs to stop doing that.
I'm surprised our views are a little lower today, and we'll try the 8 p.m. time slot tomorrow. Okay, before we get into our spooky stories, I just wanted to do one more thing.
Really quick, T-Mac and T-Pac. T-Pac and T-Mac. Those are the two people you're mixing
that's
up.
why.
T-Mac is the one that's, kind of iffy about us.
Oh, I didn't even set a goal. Let me set the goal properly. I keep forgetting I can do that. We already got $100. What, 500? So, I'll just do I guess 400. Let me think about it.
Aniwell for the 20. Did you already read that or no?
No, go ahead and read it.
Ani with the 20, I think it would be really cool if Monday, Wednesday, and Friday there's a group of shows that happen, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday there are another group of shows that happen, or shows that go on.
That was too complicated for my multitasking brain.
How is that complicated? How is that complicated? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have a group of show, and then you twist them out on Tuesday, Thursday. Let's wait. What? One more time.
Set the goal properly. I keep forgetting I can do that. We already got $100. What, 500? So, I'll just do, I guess 400. Let me think about it.
Aniwell for the 20. Did you already read that or no?
Here's what I think is going on there. Makes drama together with Becky versus Keem, the LCU content, all the hint about war going on in LCU. Some internal fighting, maybe.
Go ahead and read it.
Ani with the 20, I think it would be really cool if Monday, Wednesday, and Friday there's a group of shows that happen, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday there are another group of shows that happen, or shows that.
But why would you? Okay, first up, why would you do that? Why would it? I'm confused. But wouldn't that? Oh, okay, but here's the thing: you have one group of shows on different days. But what if you're forgetting how lazy she is? That is true, yeah. But not even that she's lazy. Here's the thing: what is stopping a show that goes on Monday and say, "Screw you! I'm going on Tuesday after the main show," and that person is like, "You can't do it." Like, there's not. It's like, don't do the group thing. It's pretty dumb. Because then you're gonna have too many shows compete. Like, well, let's say somebody's a big fan of this show, and he's a fan of. Okay, so let's say you have somebody who's a fan of A show, but it only streams on Monday, and then they're also a big fan of the B show, which streams on Tuesday. But the show A decides to say, "Screw you! I'm streaming on Tuesday." On the exact same time that they would normally stream on a Monday. You're adding. Maybe Keemstar kind of is right when he said maybe don't listen too much to your audience, or maybe just stuff like that. You should kind of.
That was
Oh boy,
complicated for my multitasking brain.
it's not very complicated.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there'll be a group of shows happening, right? And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday could be another group of shows that will go on. So, yeah, like, yeah, it's kind of confusing. Like, so just say me, you did Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain time, are they saying? I don't know. I'm confused.
All right.
Wait, but as a main show, you have to go on every single day because that's your. You guys, you already said that you're gonna stream every single day. Then why the fuck would Roxy say, "Well, we can stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday"? Then you're not gonna make your $500 that you need. It would be different if it would be very different if this wasn't part of the LCU. It'd be very different if they were not competing against the LCU. I feel like they're setting themselves up for failure even more for even thinking like this. I would have been like, no, that can't work. We're gonna stream every single day. We need certain shows on a certain time slot. Maybe for the other, if it's not part of the main shows, right? Like if it's other shows, but the problem is the main shows are gonna capitalize the best hours, so it's gonna end up screwing the other shows who maybe they would like the support, but they can't because they're not making the money or they're not. It's fake drama. It's scripted. He thinks we fall for it. I think at this point, this is all clearly fake, or even worse. Maybe Keem is trying to prove how dumb the Queen and Milker audience is, and if that's the case, I'm not gonna lie. If this is some weird, like if this was a okay. Let me actually slow down and talk properly and not, mumble my words and, all that fun stuff. So I feel like well, maybe Keem isn't that smart, but I feel like this is some type of experiment where he's trying to prove to Roxy and Becky that the Queens and Milker audience are idiots. And if that's the case, good job, because yeah, that probably isn't the case, but damn, that would be a lot more interesting, because then that would be more interesting if this was just an experiment to see how smart and how loyal the Queens and Milkers are. Shit, Keem. I don't think he would think like that, but if he did, props to him.
Forget about it for now. The main thing, Ani, is we want to keep it as simple as possible so that nitwits like me, we can actually pick on right away. So I want to keep it as stream, and it's hard to keep track of all this stuff. Okay, so if we hit our goal for...
I'm very glad she says she's a midwit. Thank you, Becky.
Today, I take a cake to the face, and it allows me to establish the company tradition of whenever we hit our goals, we take a cake to the face. And it's a 2-part goal. And if we hit the goal, we will also do a drunk stream or high stream tomorrow, whichever you guys prefer. And so it'll be super chill. And if we do the high stream, which is honestly what I think we should do, we get to see Roxy take a gummy for the first time.
Oh my God. Second time, actually, but I did it totally wrong the first time. I took too much. Caitlin Boyle, welcome.
One more time.
And it's a 2-part goal. And if we hit the goal, we will also do a drunk stream or high stream tomorrow, whichever you guys prefer. And so it'll be super chill. And
I'm really confused. Why do you gotta do, like, I thought it was stupid for Milkers to do a goal for them to get drunk and high. And I thought it was even more stupid for Queens. But if you're I feel like it's a soft e-begging. It's like, hey guys, if we get 10 likes or if we get 100 likes, I'll start drinking. I'll start taking shots tomorrow.
If we do the high stream, which is honestly what I think we should do, we got to see Roxy take a gummy for the first time.
Oh my god, second time actually, but I did it totally wrong the first time. I took too much. Caitlin Boyle, welcome to the Becky Gang, and really quick, Bobby Joe, congratulations, lady. Thank you so much. Queen J for the 2. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna call it a lit stream for when I put it in writing. All right, I started the
there you
goal.
go.
It's for $500.
Lips.
Right?
Lips.
Now I'm just gonna look at
Lips.
what Ani said. Queen J, thank you so much for giving Ani $2.
Lips.
Bobby and Joe, $10. Congratulations, ladies. You guys are so sweet. I have to give you a wrap up of our numbers versus the OG Queen's numbers from yesterday, because yikes, it was so bad. Oh.
It was bad, but your numbers aren't doing any better. Maybe tomorrow when you go up against Queen, but we'll have to wait and see because that's not a very high bar.
Oh God, I can't wait to tell you. Remind me if I don't say it by the time I finish going through this.
Okay.
Caitlin Boyle, welcome to Becky Gang. And Ani, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's a group of shows that happen, and then yeah, I see what she's saying. Alternating shows every other day of the week. That's why.
Okay, Milford Girl asked, when is the edible? Well, the edible we're gonna do. We're setting the.
It's because they're not really trying to get the real co-host Queen to a joke right now. I mean, the only good co-host for Queens is Yo Mama. I'm not gonna lie, Yo Mama probably is what Queen needs right now. I really think if they want to survive, they should just hire Yo Mama or just have him on for those 2 hours and keep him permanently as a host. Like, if you really want my opinion, pick Yo Mama. Yo Mama is a better host for Queens. Queens need Yo Mama. Yo Mama doesn't need Queens, but Queens need Yo Mama. And once they have Yo Mama on, boom. I think they'll start to pick up again. It's going to take a while, but they'll start picking up again. Or I could be wrong. That's perfectly fine too. Either way, I'll profit off of them.
Yes.
Milford Girl is dying to get
Or milk them.
I'm dying
Yeah.
to see you that way. Like in an environment where you can actually relax and not be super stressed when you're
Remember we were
like,
cracking up after at Tina's house and everything?
I guess it's more relaxing.
It was like the show went off the rails and you were just sitting there like,
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
it was so funny.
Lillian 5. Oh my god, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Lillian, thank you so much for the 5. Becky Booth gift memberships. Thank you so much.
Okay, so
Thank you. It's Kirsa, I would say.
ADHD.
Kirsa.
Medication for this shit. I'm juggling too much and I forget everything. What, Roxy? You look like you want to say something.
No, Scuffleheart is saying, can we get both cross-faded? What?
I mean, I do that. I'm used to. I could do both. Yes, but
I'm
ow.
scared. It even sounds scary. I don't know what that is.
Crossfaded is drunk and high, both.
What does it feel like?
Amazing. Because, like, listen, for me, it's different for everybody. Becky with $2.
I've gotten crossfade in the past. It is not a good time. Do not let these idiots tell you that.
Love your name. Love your name. Hi, I'm so glad you are doing your own thing. So are we. And so is everybody who came with us. I got to tell you guys, in the Discord, you could feel the weight that's been lifted off everyone's shoulders. It is so nice in there. And I was so amazed that I was up at like 12 a.m. and there were still people talking. And it's good conversation because guys, the whole time we were in the LCU, it was always anti-Becky. And no one, even all my viewers, were able to just participate in the Discord and have fun because everybody got dogpiled.
I wonder why they got dogpile. I wonder why.
That's why I never went in there. And then even when I would try to do voice chat, then I had to sit with fucking team.
The problem is that they're looking in the LCU for a co-host for Tina. Most that tries are not good. Yeah, they need an outsider. Queens needs somebody that is not part of the LCU but is very friendly to them. And if they can get Yo Mama, they need to lock him down now. They need to lock down Yo Mama. And then once they get Yo Mama, boom. I think Brantley could be a co-host for Queen. Bring the number. Yeah, but that's not gonna be for long. And the thing is with Brantley is Keem is very sensitive about Brantley. So if Brantley starts streaming on Queens more often, right, to the point where she's now a main host, it probably means that like Tina will probably get more money, Keem will get more money, and Mike will get more money by that logic. Right, because Keem can just directly pay Brantley. Like Brantley wouldn't need to do that, right? But maybe I don't know. Somebody can correct me on that one. The problem is Brantley would be an open target for everybody, And at that point, if Keem starts acting very erratic, that can be a big problem down the line. But hey, that's an option.
Which I didn't want to do either, and deal with half the people in there not liking me. Milford girl, come on, let's get Roxy high. Woo! Yes. Evolution, your first super chat ever. Queen Zoe, where is
Oh,
Zoe?
thank you, Evolution.
Where is
I love watching both you
Queen?
ladies. Thank you so much, Sharon. Becky and Roxy is a cute name. Bexy. I always say Bexy.
Oh, that is kind of
Becky
cute.
and Bexy.
And then I remembered what I was going to say, and then I forgot it. Whatever. So we'll do our crossfade stream tomorrow if we meet the goal, and I take the cake to the face. So you got two things for the goal today. And I mean, there's possibly a third thing, maybe, that I kind of want Roxy to do as a stretch goal, but we'll see.
Oh God, come on.
I have to go out and buy some gummies and stuff tomorrow. I'll remember. Oh yeah, that was the last thing. I wanted to compare Queen's numbers, but go ahead,
I was
Roxy.
just gonna ask you. No, that's what I was gonna ask you, Becky. Our minds are like two.
They didn't. I don't think they actually did compare. Maybe I'm wrong.
Final part of the business meeting. Oh, and I have to unveil the new schedule too. Wait, I got more to talk about. Jesus. All right. Well,
Why don't you write this stuff down, Rebecca?
because I figured it would all listen. What would the fun
You
be?
know
all
damn well
right?
they are gonna come together. Yeah, that's true. Too.
Like chaos. The real YouTube Shadow, thank you so much for $5. We appreciate you. All right, comparing Queen's numbers, I was shocked that we weren't even running against Queens yesterday, so we weren't taking any of their viewers. That was part of why
Keem is very protective for blindly look at the Madhouse thing. Yeah.
I didn't want to have to compete, so that if people like both shows, they can watch both shows. I'm not trying to split the audience, right? But regardless,
But that's your problem, Becky. Like, you're being too safe, which is proving that the Dorbs are right, that you probably are still working with Keemstar. Like, with you saying, like, I don't want to split the audience, but then you kind of get giggly. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I tuned into their show at 9 p.m., so that's the halfway mark when they should have peaked. Guess how many viewers they had, Roxy?
1,200.
Oh, that's how they ended. They had 1,400 viewers, or 1,300 halfway through, and
In
they
the middle,
fell to halfway through, they had only made $100. We had
Why?
I think in total they made less than 300. We made over 1,000.
Wow.
No, she didn't. We already checked the number. The amounts he made yesterday, unless he's adding the 2 days together, then yes. But separately, no. She made around 700. They made around $705. Still good numbers, but stuff like this is important. So yeah, they did make more money than Queens, I would say that, but that's, again, Queens is not a high bar to go up against. Let's take Gemini. Here we go.
And listen, guys, one of the things I love from the LCU is that they were transparent about numbers, and I love that we can carry that over to here, because I want you guys to see what we make and where it goes, and how we help people build their dreams.
But then why don't you show the extra numbers like I did? Like, I was willing.
The day before yesterday, Mike was up there the whole time, and they made even less.
Look like EFD is doing perfectly fine. Thank God. He's a good boy sometimes.
To float all the shows by donating to them. The LCU is actually falling apart, and guess what? Rewind yesterday, because Keem's numbers.
All right, but like Becky, but what if you start doing the same thing? Wouldn't that make you kind of hypocritical by doing that?
Good part about being at 6 p.m. Even if it's just 500 viewers like it is now, it was 500 viewers less than the LCU, which fucked their redirect for all the shows after. Queen started with about 2,300, fell down to 1,200, and then guess where Rewind was at? Rewind was.
Yeah. In my video, I brought that up as well. That YouTube takes 30% off, so they're not even. So that 1,000 they're making isn't 1,000. It's probably way less than that. So the 500 that they need every single day, in reality, maybe way less. And mind you, they gotta split that up. So you're splitting, right? Unless they're already taking into account the YouTube tax. If they're not, then you're kind of dumb for that, right? So reality, it's 50-50, but when you look at it like at a bigger picture, well, it's 30% from YouTube. So then it would have to be. I mean, like, Becky would have to take a little bit more than Roxy, because 30%, so 40. Unless Becky's gonna, unless they're saying 50-50, but it may not even be. Notice how Roxy hardly talks anymore on these new shows. Yeah, I'm noticing that. Wow, I think she's realizing that she's. I have a feeling that Roxy may end up abandon all of this. She may have to eventually go back to Keemstar. Yeah. Or worst case scenario, she just quits and just do her own thing and does live streaming, but still works with Becky, but not really. Which means Becky will probably take all the money. It will just end up being the Becky boob. So at that point,
Under 1,000.
Fuck out of here.
I shit you not. I
What
shit
the
posted
hell
on Twitter.
is going
I
on?
shit posted on Twitter about it and said, Zion,
She did.
you feel to have the LCU all to yourself. Suck it, bitch. Suck it, bitch. This is what you got. You can't play nice with
Looks like she'll
others.
be dancing on her own grave next. They clean up over there. She'll be dancing.
She'll be the
she's
one
dead.
worried and kicking, trying to
Yeah,
stay out.
that's-
she said that so quiet.
Shows all
Wow.
do suck now. Like, I'm not even trying to hate on them. I'm not. I like a good friendly rivalry. I like competition.
Right.
You know, but we're creating actual content. You know,
But you know what it is? Yeah, people are literally.
You spend 30 minutes doing business, and then the rest of the stream, besides fighting with Grace, was you talking about horror stuff relating to how. At least, hey. At least I'm willing to admit what I do isn't content. What I do is not content at all. I just clip, and there's a bit of commentary. At least I can say that and be confident about. I am at least self-aware enough, right? I am gonna, and I've said it many times in my videos. I've said it a number of times to people. I've said it a number of times in these streams. I am not a content creator. I am a clipper, and that's all I am, with a bit of commentary. That said, that's what I am. That's what I always be. At least when I stream, maybe you can say I'm doing some content making, but even then, no. Right? Even then, not really. And I'm willing to acknowledge that. Maybe when I do content, it's when I'm playing a game like Pokemon Gold, like Pokemon Full Gold. With I'm gonna probably start restream again. Don't worry, guys. We'll get back to Pokemon Full Gold this weekend. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, soon, maybe. But again, that's what I mean. It's like you spend 30 minutes, even more, doing this business stuff. Then you get into a fight with Grace. I can't see it being content, and then the rest was just junk.
Really being banned just for supporting us.
Like, again, I'm honest. I'm not gonna lie to like.
Everyone got 4 hours. I should pull up their earnings for yesterday. Listen, you know what, guys? Let's do it. Let me pull up Playboard. I think, like I said, this will probably be the last episode where we do something like this, but this is the very beginning. And even though, believe it or not, I did not create this network to compete with them. I
No.
created this to do our own fucking thing. But I
Yet, you said earlier that you were. Well, I can kind of see what she's referring to time, but again, Ben was right. You should have competed with him at least within the first week, just so you can have more. Does he actually quit? Yes, Becky did quit the LCU. So did Roxy. That's about it. And she's doing her own thing called the BBU, or the Becky Boob Universe. Which maybe you should have called it something completely different and not call it the Becky Boobs Universe. At least lolcow live universe makes sense because it's not entirely.
knew there was
Again.
a chance it might destroy them. But I'm shocked that it's actually happening. And quick note,
She and the way she acts, like
Roxy, when I left, and I'm sure you felt the same way, Lillian, $10. Let's be honest, Queens will never make the money it made with Becky. They lost a huge talent.
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
it's
Thank
true.
you. So I thought when I quit, I was very stressed because I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to have to go a long time without money. What's going to happen? I didn't realize.
so if it was sorry. If it was really a true break from the LCU, why wouldn't Becky go for Wings? Because Wings may help Becky. See how he's saying that the LCU thrown him under the bus. If it was really a true break from the LCU, why wouldn't Becky go for Wings? Wings doesn't want to be involved. Wings straight up said that he doesn't want to be involved with this stuff, just like Lynx. He just want to do his own thing and become irrelevant. That's what Wings said a number of times. Yo, when I saw the BBU, I thought copy Keem. Yeah. I mean, you could at least say that like Keem didn't put his first name in the LCU. I mean, supposedly he did that with the Keem Universe or something like that, or the Keem Network. But that's a long time ago. In this situation, the fact that you said the Becky Boobs universe, why didn't you call it something else? Rather than putting your own name. Because now that means that if this fails, it's going to be even worse on you compared to lolcow live.
Realize, guys, that day one after leaving, I made more money. More than I made there. More. Because with half the viewers, we made twice as much, and there's only a 2-way split, not a 4-way split. That means we
That's fair.
Lower overhead and can make this sustainable.
But here's the thing, Becky. You may be making... individually you're making more, but you're splitting it with Roxy, and now you're also splitting it with YouTube. He had the Keemstar show with Slavo Pancake. Yeah, I know that for a fact. I know that. But I mean, like, that's a show. Unless he was trying to make a universe from that show, but obviously that didn't work out. But I mean, in this situation, it's like Becky doesn't have the same amount of clout that Keemstar does. Like, she just doesn't. Right? And then on top of that, even, yeah, it is just two idiots.
But people swear up and down that me and you
Certain.
to quit together, to do everything together. I promise you on all that is holy, that did not happen like that.
Yeah.
It did not happen like that at all. It's crazy how this is happening. I still can't believe that we're working together and we're actually doing good.
Because everything falls into place. It's meant to be. And guys, we're going to get into the paranormal stories in a little bit. I'm just clearing out.
To be fair, I'm more of an idiot than these guys. I'm just going to have to be clear.
Helping to support us. We're already almost.
I'm an imbecile.
See, this is all it takes. That's all it takes. And people like Thick Gemini. He normally streams to 2 people. You can see his equipment and where he's at, but yet he's so fucking good. He's funny. He's talented. He's fast. He's entertaining. He just needs.
This is Dick Gemini.
A Fortnite stream, and then I found out someone botted me. So fuck you.
Well, these are real, and hopefully we could get you doing a show one day after our show so that we can actually give you a nice, fat, juicy redirect. All right.
Oh
so
my god.
this is my first time here, so I'm sure it's probably the first time for other people too. Can you tell me, like, what is the layout of your show so we all know what to expect?
It's like Rewind over in the fucking loser.
Before anybody asks, Dick Gemini is a guy. First off, he's a guy. I already gave him props early on. I gave him props. Oh, hey, look, they're also using the LCU, hashtag, just like me and Becky Boob. I already do that, but I mean, this stream got around 80 viewers with Becky and Roxy.
Loser cows, but better.
Loser cows.
It's like Milkers and Loser Cow Rewind put together.
Loser cows. That's terrible. They've been falling apart over there. I don't even want to talk.
I mean, I don't like Rewind, but I'm sorry to say that, and I don't really like Billy or Xylee that much, but Billy knows how to keep the energy, and Xylee is a good straight man. He's trying. Who are these people? Luke Alt. It's the lolcow live universe and the Becky Boobs universe. They're lolcows. They're lolcows. These are the lolcows that I decided. Becky only had 2 sim, Nick Stone and Gamer Asylum. They can't keep paying her bills. Lomao. They also have Suffer Horse as well. Unless Nick, it's going to tap that low $100 for him to smash a cake in his face. He already did that.
Fuck you, Mina.
I'm not even going to talk about them. This is our own thing. I just wanted to know how much. Look at him. He's already all angry.
He has no layout like Rewind.
Until you came in.
Wow.
Am I gonna have a co-host? No, this is the solo show. This is Thick Tea.
Yes, this will normally be a solo show. I'm just here today to help. And Rock.
So this is going to be a solo. Hey, I know a few lolcow, but I've never heard of them. What are they known for? Dude, look, if I was to, dude, the lore behind these guys are wild. It is so fucking massive, yet it's so fucking okay. So crash course. There's Keemstar, who is the head of the lolcow live, which had Boogie and Wings. Wings isn't part of lolcow live anymore. But before all of that happened, Keemstar decided to expand, and he created the lolcow live universe. And a little bit before the lolcow live universe, this woman named Becky. Okay, I gotta look into the lore, dude. I don't even know where to start, but I do have to do a crash. I have to, guys. I'm gonna have to do a crash course of lolcow live lore, or at least just the bare essential, like the early foundation of the lolcow live universe, because I have a feeling that the people who are going to start watching this, I have why would you watch this? You could go watch Mr. Medicare, go watch Fish Tank. Tell Sam hi. I said hi. Blonde hair, flood insurance. It got chemo all over it. Word. But Falcon 78, yeah, somebody paid $100 or paid.
Oh my.
Doing my make, and then you guys could
Like, Becky isn't like.
God damn.
We have TTS set up for us yet, Becky.
when I was watching
Let me see.
Gemini,
Yeah, right here.
Guys,
Right here. This is just for you, Falcon. Because I need a lesson limit. I know the ones that kind of blew up on TikTok. Dude, the locales that I'm covering, again, I don't even know where I can I really don't know. Like, all you need to okay, the important people are Keemstar, Boogie, 2988, and Wings of Redemption. Those are the bases for the original locale. And it's crazy. I don't even know where I can start. Like, again, I'm gonna have to do a video, a crash course video on the lolcow live, just the bare essential, because yeah, it's gonna be. Hey, join the route. You're forgetting Tommy. Oh yeah, Tommy C. Yeah, but Tommy C. is kind of like he's important, but not important. He kind of stopped being important once the show started to become more focused on live stream rather than pre-recorded stuff. So, like, Tommy C. Yeah, I know. I forgot about Tommy C. I'm sorry, but like Tommy C. Like, if we were just focusing on lolcow live, then yeah, Tommy C. It's important. But when we're focusing on the LCU,
And their S is a
I'm trying to figure out what.
oh Deepak, I'm glad you're coming around because I feel like when I was watching things back, it seemed like you were kind of like anti our show in the beginning. I'm glad you're coming around because this is what?
There's two different T-Pack and there's another fucking pack. They're different people.
There's A-Pack and T-Pack.
I mean, pirate all the way. And usually he's cool with everything. I think there's another person that sounds like T-Pack. I forgot what the name was, but they're very. See, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. We hit the goal.
$80 from Ani.
You gotta love pepper juice. You gotta love pepper juice.
Ani, look, you are amazing.
I could cry.
Oh
That's
my
great.
God.
Oh, Ani, that is so sweet. I don't appreciate it, Gemini.
That is
Listen,
awesome.
I know you have other expenses, but would you be okay putting that money towards either lights or a camera? He's ignoring me now.
I'll put the fucking money towards a goddamn cake in my face. Let me go full screen.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a weird. Well, okay, I get it that he has bills to pay. Perfectly fine. That is your money. But it's like, well, Becky, you should have some spare stuff or spare equipment or spare lighting. Why don't you give him? Why not just help him out? He can pay you back later, or like maybe like one day down the line he can give you back that money. Like, why couldn't you do that unless you don't have that kind of money, or you're already fucked? and you're doing everything. It's kind of like a Ponzi scheme. I don't want to think like that, but like, why couldn't you help him out? Or if you've been planning this for weeks, even months, why didn't you just slowly give him the equipment or the money, and then he can slowly pay you back? I feel she won't. I see.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a. Oh shit.
Y'all still see me?
Yeah, we see you.
I hate you, Becky. I fucking hate you.
I love it.
I look like a goddamn.
You gotta rub your face in there. Yeah, there you go. He got it.
Like,
Oh, you gotta do more than that. Come on, bitch. Come on.
Wait a second. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. Can we get W's in the chat?
That's amazing. Fuck yes.
I'm blurring out. I'm not even a human no more.
Why he colored his hair blonde? I have no clue. Probably related to the whole mermaid and glazed donut blonde Keemstar.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're like a unicorn.
She
You got a
fucked
unicorn,
after
little
her
star
final
coming out.
LCU check. Yeah. So she has probably, and she didn't even do a full month. The problem is so she didn't even do a full month for this month. So she's not even gonna get paid. She's only gonna get paid for the weeks, the days she was there. So she's not getting a full month. It isn't like everybody else who, when they left, they at least got paid. And see that she was gonna get something like a severance pack, which wasn't the case because that was only exclusive to. I'm pretty sure that's exclusive to Wings and Boogie and maybe Rastov. So her final check isn't going to be good. So she needs to hurry up and make her money now, or she's fucked.
I can't see me. I have to do the rest of the stream like this.
Well, I'm not gonna. You can take it off if you want to, but leave it on for a little bit. You look like a magical unicorn. It's so cute. And you know what, Gemini? You look really pretty with white eyelashes.
Her fucking fat bitch.
It was only for Boogie and Wing. All right, so yeah.
I'm giving you a compliment, bitch, motherfucker. Oh, now he's
He got $80. He got $100, $105 to do it. Hey, game is game. I'm not gonna hold it against him. Game is game, bud.
gotta eat the fucking cake. Well, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna be
dog
right-
about to eat it.
you know I can't be upstage. I'm gonna be right back. I got some shit to show you guys. Be right back.
All right, Gemini, check your Cash app. There you go.
I'm blurring out.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
How do I turn it? Hold on. I got.
So did Roxy give him money? At least that's a good thing that Roxy gave him money. I'm not gonna lie, Roxy has some really nice eyes. I'm not gonna lie. I think let's at the lighting. Those are kind of nice eyes. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Do not hate me. I am a man of culture. Those are really nice eyes. I'm not gonna hate. Like those eyeballs, the colors. It could just be the lighting, so it makes them a lot more like a bluer or greenish eye. They look pretty nice.
I know, you're all blurry. What the hell are you doing?
It's the fucking because I got so much shit in my room. It makes the camera go crazy.
Jesus.
Shut the fuck up.
It's wait. Well, I mean, he said it was a cheap ass camera or webcam. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find one a better one for cheap. I remember when Becky bitched about having to do what Dick is doing. Next, you will have Gemini doing a show. No, next you will have Grim doing the show. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if Grim came back and did a show, but I don't think he would. I don't think he would do a show with Becky at all.
Let's see. Looking like a glaze.
And plus, with the stuff he said, and Becky apparently is half Jewish, so it'd be interesting content, but that would cause a fizzing. That would cause a division, a fizzing, if you catch my drift.
Ace Donuts has Minty Retro.
Please clap.
Maybe she will get a job now.
He wanted to take the bites. He wanted to take that bite. He wanted to eat that shit.
My dog is sitting here eating cake.
Becky isn't like what the LCU made her to be. No, she's really not. And I mean, we had a long talk, you know, before I decided to work with her, and she's really not. Like, neither am I. T-Pat says, Roxy, you or Becky ask Savage about TTS. She will get you in the right direction with Streamlabs.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Check the
$20
Gemini.
super chat from Roxy. What the hell, Roxy? Why you super chatting?
Because you deserve it. Thank you. T-Pack, the Gemini uses Streamlabs or StreamYards. Becky and I we use OBS, so that'll be different.
Freaking Roxy super chatted to me, Becky.
What'd you super chat, Roxy?
I could send him a little super chat just for thank you. I said, "Yay, hog."
Yeah, I am not like he made me out to be. That is true. And good.
Oh, so he's getting direct money from Cash App. Interesting.
Observation. It was the real me, but like a real me that in real life you probably would only see a couple times a year. So.
Well, yeah, with me, I am a bitch sometimes. I am a freak. I do crazy, stupid shit like on the daily. That is me. But the lying.
Nah, Gray may want to stay out before a weirdo goes IRL with his. Yeah, that's what I figure.
So not
That's what I would figure.
I have
Figure.
I can't believe this shit.
Figure of speech.
I have 2 cakes. Now in true Becky fashion, I slept through the delivery. Yeah.
Sorry, Yana. I'm not my dog. She's trying to eat goddamn cake, you stupid bitch.
Don't call. Is your dog a female? Call her the bitch.
You know what?
I have a feeling that his tongue is gonna get him in trouble a lot. I have a bad feeling that a lot of tongues are gonna get into a lot of fight with Becky behind the scenes. I already know it. At least with Keem, he would at least play along with it, right? But this, no.
I'm gonna spaz the hell out.
In true chaotic Becky fashion, I slept through the delivery, so they were melting in the sun. Delivers a cake upside.
They planned
Like
it.
her mama.
And then they just went through the.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm very confused. It's like, why do I get the idea of doing a pre-show, but I feel like you're doing it a little too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. It is what it is. Remember Grim being fired over the guy who talked about the blue eye and blonde hair being the dominant, just the weird, the dominant, just weird in my opinion. Yeah, it is weird.
What's going on? I'm convinced that.
Oh hey, Dick Cheese, how you doing?
Oh God, this is spooky.
Oh, look at the cat. Just go. Oh my God. Oh, we're not echoing anymore.
Oh, this is savage.
I'm doing the window.
Key even got sick of her behind the scenes. You know it's bad. Yeah. Dick Cheese, it's the Amazing Dog still streaming? Oh, he ended his stream. Oh, ended with TK. Fucking damn, dude. Well, I'm happy you're here, Dick Cheese.
It was a lovely marriage.
Pretty good. How you doing? I'm doing good. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. We've just been covering Becky shit and the lolcow live shit. I'm probably gonna do a video covering their Grace and Ben response to Becky and all that bullshit. So that'll be coming out later today. Hopefully, I'm probably gonna be in bed late today and wake up late. So gonna get everything ready beforehand.
Time to grow, and I'm so thrilled. I'm sharing.
All right, but back to this shit.
With you guys, with Gemini, I'm letting him keep 100% of the profits. I'm not touching it. I'm not taking a penny. Every penny you donate goes to him.
Like I said,
in his name. The day he decides to leave here, he gets to take his hard work with him, his content with him, and he doesn't have to be erased from history the way we are from the profits. I'm not touching.
Let me use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. Okay, we're back. Sorry for that. I just needed to use the bathroom, and it's very hot where I live now.
I'm not taking a penny. Every penny you donate goes to him. That channel is in his name. The day he decides to leave here, he gets to take his hard work with.
I mean, again, what is that? I mean, I don't think he'll leave. I don't think Dick Gemini will leave Becky. But as I said before, what is stopping somebody else from just straight up leaving? And I mean, like she said, it probably won't be any hard feelings, but like, again, what is stopping those people from just revealing every little secret behind the BBU? I mean, it takes one person, right? It would take one person to straight up come out and say, the BBU is actually run by Keemstar and he's been psyoping you guys the whole time. It literally would take one person to say that within a short amount of time. So think about that.
With him, his content with him. And he doesn't have to be erased from history the way we are from the LCU. They deleted my emoji, my emote in the chat, and it's so sad. Because now if you go back to watch old streams, it just shows up.
I like how she's like so sad. Like, do you really care? Like, I wouldn't care.
It's a broken box.
Oh, that sucks.
You literally got erased from history. It's so sad. Roxy, do you want to get this one? Don't know?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see. Was it?
I mean, like,
Yep.
Thank you
okay.
for the sales. Couldn't be happier with the two you paired. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And really quick, people are asking, is Roxy getting 50%? I am getting 50% of Supreme Queens, yes. Becky, whatever, if she does stuff, I don't know, you're gonna figure all that out, right? But
Yeah, so here's the basic
Becky's
structure.
complete transparent with me. She
Yeah.
gives me access to whatever I need. I can see anything. Yes. we
No
talk about
Becky tax, and part of why Barking Bat is because Thick Gemini has become like my right-hand man. He has done so much to help the show, and I really want to shout him out. I have his channel pinned up above in the comments. I highly recommend you go subscribe. We want to help him grow. He has been doing the graphics for our show. He's been keeping on me when there's some things I need to do and they fall through the cracks. If something's going on in my Discord, he's right on top of it.
I noticed. I just realized that. So when her and Roxy don't do a show, he will keep the money. So let's just say hypothetically. Let's just say this hypothetically, right? So let's say they do a stream at 6 o'clock, and they go to sleep, and Becky decides to do a stream in the night. And she makes a lot of money, so she could keep that money. I'm just saying, like, that I would need to see proof it is ran by King, can't take people by their word. Yeah, I know that. Like, I'm just saying, but like, again, like, it would take one person, and then that would spread, and then, like, let's say the next person leave, and if multiple people leave, and they all say, like, oh, this is secretly, again, you know, that is just a theory that is running around. I'm not sure how true that is. I want to believe it's not true on the grounds that I can at least milk this more. But if it is, let's say hypothetically that it is, right? Hypothetically, it is secretly run by Keemstar as a psyops. I mean, that's pretty smart first. That'd be pretty smart on his end, because he did say that he wants another set of shows in parallel with their show. So I'm just saying certain things are just, you know. But again, if let's say a bunch of people, even right now, let's say people in her inner circle, they just decide to leak stuff or don't know what they're doing, and to reveal that, oh yeah, Keem has a bigger hand than you think, and that's all they can say. Well, that doesn't look good, and that can, you know, if it is that would be funny. It would be funny, but it would prove that she should never be trusted.
It's a fair trade, because I don't want to seem like an angel for not taking money either. He's contributing a lot. We're just exchanging work. But I love the fact, it makes me feel so good that if he leaves one day, because I never want people to feel like they have to stay here. This is not like the LCU. If people don't want to be here, I want them to go. You know, I want them to do what makes them happy. So I love the fact that they can take their work with them. With Roxy, what we're doing, I guess you're okay with me talking.
But like as I said before, they can leave right off the bat. Once they get, like, they can just leave right off the bat, and they can just run their mouth against you.
What I see happening for Roxy, based on right now, because all these things can iterate as time goes on, which means like doing the next iteration, the next evolution of something. For right now, this show, me and Roxy split 50-50, okay? And the only reason we're doing it on my channel instead of a separate channel is because I don't have the pull that Keem does to get a channel instantly monetized. I can't do that. But this channel is instantly monetized.
But the thing is that, but wouldn't it be safer?
So this way, she's making money right now, and you know this is Roxy's main source.
I mean, I get the money part. But wouldn't it have been just smarter anyway? Like, you can at least do two shows that do two different things, and then when the time comes, you can move the stuff from this show to that show and make Roxy or Dick would be the ones to leak stuff, I believe. Probably. It would probably be Roxy. I mean, Dick Gemini already said like 2-3 streams ago that, you know, that they were planning to do a whole universe. They already, like, Dick Gemini already leaked it. Like, I don't know if anybody caught that stream, but I did. Yeah. But my point is, right? My point is, like, wouldn't it have been safer? Because Becky, now your channel is a target, right? And yeah, you don't have to pull like Keem to instant monetize, but at the same time, it's like, well, now your main channel is at risk. You're not protected by Keem. If you say something or you do something or a cop, you're fucked. You're done. That's it. You won't be, and it takes a while to get remonetized. And so you're setting yourself up really bad right now. And even the Dorps even comment on that. Like, maybe it would have taken a while, but you could have done 2 separate shows. All right, maybe you could have done this. Like, maybe you had a new channel that will eventually replace your channel, but knowing her, she maybe realized that and didn't want to go through the extra work. Plus, like, she can kick Roxy off if she wanted to, and she can just keep the foundation and everything. Right? There's just way too much that is it's red flags.
Right now because of her husband being sick. So we needed to make money right away for her. And this way it lets us keep the whole network afloat. Hashtag Fluffy, welcome to Becky Gang. Go ahead, Roxy, you want to say something?
Really, like, I appreciate that from Becky too, because like she's allowed me to come over here and make money right away. She had all these subscribers on her own. So that, you know, that's good for me. So I really, really appreciate that.
Actually,
yeah, but none of them are active. Like,
didn't even think of
that's
that.
what we said before.
If you had this huge channel and I'm just coming over here and making half of what, you know, and these are all people that you had here. So that's amazing for me.
Did Thick Gemini forget the redirect? I didn't see a redirect either, motherfucker. Motherfucker.
OMG.
If that's the case, you know, he's gonna get a pow pow tomorrow. I'm gonna spank that booty. Motherfucker, Gemini! Gemini, you better get up here and explain yourself. Where you at? Anyway.
That's the second time this happened.
Now here's the thing. So the shows I'm doing with Roxy, like this one, I'm taking 50%. But on Roxy's own channel, unlike the LCU, I highly encourage her to stream over there, do her own show. She gets redirects, and I take, at least for now, I'm thinking probably 0% of that, Roxy.
Yeah,
That's
right,
yours.
sure, so I
That's
get
your
picked up,
shit.
yeah.
But you still get to benefit from being here, and that's why.
But why would you say just for now I'll take 0%? So are you saying that you're gonna take a little bit from Roxy, like 10%, and plus you're already gonna be hit with YouTube by 30%? Again, what is stopping from Roxy getting what is stopping from Roxy from getting monetized and just saying fuck you, I'm leaving? She is I like how both of them could be trans.
Me taking 50% is different than how Kim takes 50%.
I guess so.
We do. I want you to, and I fuel that growth. The next thing I see for Roxy is if I can make it happen, and I do want this to happen. A lot of people miss Roxy's dynamic with Savage that she had.
So bad.
And they do kick-ass overnight streams, like the best I've ever seen. So if we can get Savage on board, I want her here too. Same deal. The show that she would do with Roxy, I would take 50% of that. I think that's a 3-way split. However, Savage still gets to do her own show on her own channel, benefit from the redirect.
Wait. Repeat that.
So if we can get Savage on board, I want her here too. Same deal. The show that she would do with Roxy, I would take 50% of that. I think that's a 3-way split. However,
so you're already gonna take money like Keemstar. Who would join this? Why would Savage even agree? Like, Savage would have to be a fucking more like no. Like, Savage can be funny, she could be entertaining, but like you would have to be stupid to agree to that. Maybe like, so take the redirect, but she doesn't really need the redirect.
Savage still gets to do her own show on her own channel, benefit from the redirects and all of that. This way her own is growing too. It doesn't turn into a dead channel, and we all benefit. Carl with $20. Nice to see that you're using what you learned over there to provide.
So are you saying that there's a potential that Savage may end up becoming a dead channel? Why would you say that? But also, again, like, what is stopping from somebody who want the same time slot as Savage? Would they have to like give you more of a percentage or certain amount of money to you a month or something, or however you like a rentals. This feels like a rental service, but even more crooked and even more corrupt.
Thank you. Listen, I'm a very
So like yes, Savage would get her own channel. Everything. Becky would not touch anything on her channel. We
Yep.
would start a channel together and grow from there. And then with all the subscribers coming from over here and hers and mine, it'd just be good.
So
I
for
think that'd be
channels
great.
that are already monetized, I want those streamers to stay on their channels. They take the income, and we would, if it's not a joint channel, and I was just just redirecting to theirs, they would actually have to give me the money,
Right.
whatever percentage it is, and we have to have trust there with that. Gemini,
Can you hear me?
yes.
I realize we've been streaming for more than 2 hours. Holy shit!
Thinking about a redirect?
It's about to be 3 hours.
Oh,
I
that's
thought
right.
you said you got it at 1,000 subscribers.
I thought Roxy told me no, you have to be monetized.
Did you even
I
try to
told
add a
you,
redirect?
listen, YouTube has
Yes,
to.
I did. It's not even there when I scroll down.
Okay.
YouTube has to update. Like it take, you know how long it takes YouTube. Like they don't even realize we have 1,000 subscribers yet. So by the time there's a button, Gemini, if you click it, it'll tell you. It'll say not yet, not yet, not yet. When you're ready,
Yeah, mine
it'll
is
be
more
there.
watch time.
Yes.
Gemini,
even
what we're
watch
gonna have to do in the meantime, until you get that redirect.
You didn't have watch every time. Okay.
See, we're all learning together here.
Okay.
Until you get that redirect, is at the end of every show. You have to take the link to this show, spam it in your chat, and say, "Everybody, head over to lolcow." Oh, fuck me.
Wait a minute. You can redirect on YouTube itself. There's an option for redirect. You don't need to be monetized because the dwarfs do that. The dwarfs are not monetized, but they can redirect unless they're just fucking idiots. They can't. Last time I heard that, I'm pretty sure.
To Queen Supreme, you got to do that, and if you can, give us a transition. Like, say, we're gonna be talking about paranormal stuff today. Give us a warm handoff.
Yeah, have a good night, Falco. That's it. Think Grace and Becky will collab. No, Dick Cheats. They're not gonna collab. That is already gone. That boat has sailed. I'm sorry to tell you the Dick Cheats, but there's no collaboration between Lynx and Becky and Grace and Becky. That ship has completely sank. And we'll get into it in a little bit.
Where's your camera?
I forgot he was the best. He had to get all cleaned up.
I don't know if any of the mods have the membership link, and I forgot how to get it to join on mobile. I was trying to do that really quick before the stream. If we need it, I'll try to. It's been easy, okay? Every second of my day is living, eating, and breathing this. Every second.
And would it surprise you, Dick Cheese? It wasn't even Grace this time. It was Roxy.
We're gonna figure out a lot of stuff over the weekend. He just took the opportunity.
No, it wasn't even Grace.
He took the opportunity to
It
leave.
was Roxy. We'll get into it.
Blame on me.
Of course, I blame it on you. Talking about the membership link, and you.
Oh, yeah,
It's your fault. It's always your fault. It's always Roxy's fault.
Yeah.
Juanita Chiquita. That's a fun name. Welcome to Becky Gang. All right. I think that clears up most of the business stuff, but that's basically the way it's running here. And I really think I only want people to stay as part of this network if they want to be here and if we're delivering value. That's what it should be. And I think there's always value if they're getting to grow their own channels. So
Yeah.
I think that this is set. And if I could, if we stayed at the 6 o'clock time slot, I would have loved to have Savage at an 8 p.m. time slot. But we'll adjust. We'll try 8 p.m. for our show tomorrow and go from there. Beckstar with $1.49. Thank you so much. Okay. I think that's all the business. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Savage actually for the summertime prefers 8 o'clock. So even if we didn't go, we can still have a show at the 8 o'clock mark.
True.
Just like
What did he say? Sorry, I'm just reading chat now. Fun for Mender Cheese. Sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm pointing out something from what I found out. Roxy found things out about Savage behind the scenes. Who knows what Roxy found out about Becky? Who knows about what they can find out about Roxy? Apparently, Tina said that Roxy is not even scared about the Chucky doll. And that apparently, Tina spoke about this. And mind you, Tina is kind of like, take everything Tina says with a big ass grain of salt, like a whole stone. But it is sort of true because there's been times where I don't know about the Chucky doll thing being true or not. That could be something completely different. Maybe that's not related.
so you know, it does do it. So we'll figure that out.
Yes, Gemini. You're very low. Can you turn up your mic?
What do you mean stuff a rocket? Why not do stuff a horse?
Can you hear me?
Maybe he wants more stuff. Maybe you have to go out to that kiddie pool.
Jeez.
Yes, we see you. Why does your camera look better now when it looks so shit on your stream, Gemini? What the fuck?
Mhm.
Did you just turn on the light in your room and you didn't have the light on
Fucking
before?
Discord. I had the light on. It was changed to blue.
Why? You look so much better like this. You don't. And Discord looks better. You look worse on StreamYards and you pay for that.
Because I
shit.
have Nitro here.
We gotta get you using
Okay.
Discord then. This is so much better.
I hate it. It don't work half the fucking time with my
Well,
camera.
okay.
on my
You
face.
either get to use Discord, which saves you $40 and makes you look better, or you get to spend $40 and not get a new and have to buy a new fucking camera
Right.
over there because you look like shit. So which one is it? Pick your.
I mean, he does look a lot better. He does look a lot better. I'm not gonna lie.
Discord.
Yeah, I can't hear him
What
say,
the
"Oh my
fuck am I
god."
gonna- Oh, I I got a redirect at the end of my show.
What?
I'm gonna say I got a redirect. Someone sent me a redirect.
At the very end?
Oh yeah, that's right. Who was it again?
Thorpe TV.
Oh, Thorpe,
Yeah, she did a stream saying how this launch was an epic failure. She was so live when I looked before. I haven't watched any of it yet. Grace, let me tell you something. I can't say too much. Don't try to get on my bad side yet just because you think I'm writing you out. I'm not. I got plans for you. And
I just realized that this was this right here was the beginning and the end of what's to come next.
they're not time sensitive. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
Trying to ride the back of this pig.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it now. So if anyone else takes the idea, you know it came from here. Here's my idea. I do think Grace's community is too toxic for us to grow.
Dick Gemini look like a butch.
But here's what I do have planned. A one-off stream. This is going to be a massive goal.
Yes.
A one-off stream where it's a reunion of the original queens. So it would be, if I can get Tina, but mostly...
Yeah, as I said earlier, I don't think Tina's gonna want to join you guys, and she's way too fucking loyal to Mike.
Lynx, Grace, and me. And we actually do it IRL, an IRL meetup.
Dick Cheese, this is the moment where everything goes to hell between Grace and all of this shit.
Okay, but I want to say it right now, and I told you in the beginning, Becky, I don't feel comfortable working with Lynx or them or the Thorpes because when I first started in the LCU, they tried so hard and they probably did to dox me.
But even if it's
They did not.
one-time show, this is not working out. It would be, we could talk about it, but this would be a one-time show because I have the same exact concerns, Roxy. I feel you. And I don't think they have the best audience, either of them, from what I've seen. Very toxic. Carlos, we could try to boost the volume of the show overall. I don't know if Tina would do it, but we need her the least. At least from people in the Discord, this is what they wanted. Oh, some people in the chat don't want it. Well, if you guys don't want it, we won't do it. If you guys don't want it, we won't do it. That was only if everybody...
Also in their chat, whenever I can pull it up, is it not going to? I may have to extend this border. Nah. In her actual live, if you were reading the chat, Grace was pissed the fuck off about what was said about her, and it sparked a huge thing. And everybody else was saying this. Everybody else was attacking Grace, and Ruby kind of got involved too. Ruby got involved, but that's Ruby, and it's very different. It's understandable, and in Ruby case.
Wants it, so
I mean,
for milkers.
some people like the toxic community. Like some people like the toxicness of the communities. I don't want to do that. I really don't, Becky. So.
Wow, a lot of people are saying no. All right, I thought a lot of people in the Discord wanted to see it, so different audiences in both places. Okay.
No, the IRL stuff, yeah.
LCU was in your chat, that's why.
Curious Chats, hi, sweetie. I love you. Thank you for the 199. I love her. She has a great. She has another one.
Tina says she doesn't want to do anything with Becky, Roxy, Link, Torps, and Sav. Yeah, I said that in the past. I already said that.
She does Gold stuff.
Who is? What was her name?
Curious Chats. She has a channel.
See, and here's the other thing to you guys, because like a lot of people didn't want to see Just Breezin come up either if we want to have her. I do try to take the approach of being fairly open-minded, of like having people come on a show regardless of their following, if it's just for one show. There's a difference between one show and working on a continual basis. But regardless, the demand has to be there for it. So, all right, well, we'll try to... Yeah, it's way too early for that now, ever. That would have been a goal like months down the road. Not now. What?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, that's fine.
One more fucking thing so I can leave your bum-ass show.
Yes.
I made 120...
I feel like Grace, Ava, and Ruby are working together. The problem is right now, as we speak, is that right now, Grace, Ava, and Ruby are about to fight again. I'm already gonna say this, and it's already been building up. We're gonna see another fight between Ruby, Grace, and Ava. It's already gonna be a done deal, right? I don't want to be the guy. But we're gonna witness, and I have a feeling that this right here is going to be the reason. And we already saw it with the Dorp stream, right? Maybe you want to agree with me, disagree. This right here, it's gonna be it's gonna be the reason, or at least something because of this. It's gonna be the reason why Ruby and Grace are gonna fight again. It's already been building up. Right, there were small little jabs on both sides, and they were being very respectful on lolcow reject, right? And the one time Ben was on her stream, yeah, this is gonna at least be the tippingness, right, of the cows.
Congratulations! What are you gonna spend it on?
Not no damn cake.
And I have a sad feeling that, because of the fight between Ruby and Grace, Becky may just completely cut all connection with Ruby, at least for the meantime, until Ruby and Grace are not fighting anymore.
Are you gonna get yourself Well, you already have
She's
Nitro. You don't even need a new camera if you use Discord.
Do I need a mic?
I think your mic might be okay if we mess with it. I don't think it's something that you need to spend money on right away.
Here it sounds good in the Discord. It sounds okay. I don't know how it sounds on YouTube. No,
you sound
it's
lower.
hell.
But I could boost the overall show volume on mine.
And Gemini already put out a video Savage versus Jenny Green, and I see him doing it with these two. Yeah, it's gonna end up happening. Apparently Dick Gemini does not want to work with Savage, and I think that's been. I'm not sure if Savage care, but I think Dick Gemini cares. So there's that.
Oh yeah, and so that part's on
YouTube. It's low on YouTube, by the way.
See, these are the same exact settings I use at Queens all this time, so I don't know what changed. But regardless,
Queens is always lower.
What, we were always lower, our show?
Yeah, if you're watching Queens, it would be like a certain level, then when rewind would happen, it would like, they'll be blaring.
I know why it's happening. It's because my mic, I bought a mic without a preamplifier because I have one built into my soundboard, but it's natural.
Thorpe TV, not you, Thorpe TV. It was the other one. But go ahead, I'm sorry. She said, why am I accusing her of trying to dox? No,
Don't even get sucked into the drama, Roxy.
Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah, and then right here, Roxy's trying to double down. Like, well, no, Thor TV, it was the other one. You literally accused Grace. Now you're doubling down and putting the blame on Lynx? Yeah, you could even see it.
You need to, but...
Well, I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to accuse them.
Yeah, Dick was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out of here.
It was the other person.
Well, anyway, Grace Lynx...
You literally accused her, so you can't take it back. You know how the Dorps are like.
As a heads up, we might limit the amount we talk to you guys publicly because we're a little spark right now with a flame and we don't want to be snuffed out yet. We have to survive. However, I am more than happy to talk to people privately, at least with Lynx, because if Keem was able to talk to Lynx privately, why can't I?
Yeah, but Lynx doesn't want to be involved at all. Even if you can get her, I think she wants to be out of this completely. She kept saying that, and I feel like Lynx is gonna retaliate. I could be wrong. Maybe Lynx will retaliate against Becky because, like, hey, I don't want to be a part of the drama. Leave me the fuck alone. Just saying.
Said, well, you choose to do with them, that's fine. It's just I rather. I mean, I have nothing against them at all. It's just they have a very toxic community.
You have nothing against them, yet you accuse them of doxing. How could Roxy trust Becky after fact? I have no clue. I mean, as one of the guys who commented on my stream, he said that all of this can be just fake and scripted. You know, it is what it is. Maybe Becky, maybe Roxy is just Roxy's an idiot, and so Becky probably knew that and just said, it wouldn't be that hard to fool.
A lot of them don't like me, so for some whatever reason, I don't know about the Thorpes, but I'm talking about the other one.
Well, we'll see. That was just an idea that came to mind for what we could do that wasn't time sensitive. But I did like the idea too that we could do that with milkers. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Psycho Mom would be into doing that. I don't think she wants to work with certain people, but we could see.
I mean, that makes sense.
Well, that's why I figured we could have people who don't get along under the same network, but on separate shows.
But the problem is with Keemstar, he's done a good job, at least for the most part. I mean, there's this situation, but they kind of did it themselves. Where if people don't like each other, he kind of makes it very clear that, hey, cut the bullshit if it goes too far. Here, again, what is stopping from somebody going rogue and just completely blasting somebody? There's nothing. Especially if they get monetized, especially if they can chip away your viewer. Let's just say that Roxy is a reach. Yeah, yes he is.
I'm not going to allow all that crossfighting between hoes. I would make people squash it so that
Here's the thing though, people are not like that. You don't have the same swag or power like Keemstar. You don't. And what if those hoes never respected you and they're just pretending? You're not that. And knowing the way you act and the way you are, just saying.
I don't want a hostile work environment here. I want people to be able to focus on making good content, being creative, and having fun.
Yeah, as long as you're not forcing two people that don't like each other to work together on one show, you can do your own thing and the network still. I think that's fine.
No, Grace, when I said you have a toxic community and you're saying that's literally Keem's line, he kind of got that line from me because I was on the receiving end of the hate from your community when we were on.
And like an idiot, she should have just kept her mouth shut. She should have just kept her mouth shut here and then, right? Unlike Roxy, who is a fucking idiot, you could have just kept your mouth shut, but you you didn't. You outed yourself.
On the same show. I know exactly how bad they are, and I don't want to put any of our other hosts through that. So your community might have changed in time. That's totally possible, but it's something we could talk about privately. It's not that they don't like you, Roxy. It's just fun to fuck with you, to be honest.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so anyway, that's it for all the
Mike admitted that lolcow queen that he had done with these two tards. Yeah, he did. He did admit that he's done. And I don't blame Mike. I don't really blame him.
housekeeping stuff. Now, let's
I
get
would
back
be
to the
too.
part of the show, which is our paranormal stuff. Thank you guys for dealing with all of that. This is one of our calmer shows to punctuate the more chaotic ones. So,
And also remember, Mike has been accused of being a PDF, which is, just saying, it's out there, rumors, just an opinion, just an allegation that Mike's a PDF. Just an allegation, just a rumor, opinion, right? What is stopping from somebody joining her show and just blasting Mike, calling him all these names? Is she gonna step in and kick them out, or she's gonna let them, which it's gonna cause Mike to come after them, which can cause her whole network to be in big trouble? I have a feeling that she's not.
all right, I have a lot of psychic stories, and I have a lot of witchcraft stories, but Roxy's got ghost stories.
And here's the content. Here's their content. Mind you, once again, I don't do content. I'm a clipper. I read stream. And I am willing to admit that. But at least I know what I'm doing versus this.
So, Roxy, yes, this was
I was
originally
gonna-
your idea.
Yeah, because what I was gonna do is start a paranormal series. Like what I did was I wrote down for like the past 3 or 4 months. I wrote down just like everything I remembered through my whole time, from CNA, going to college, dropping out. I started and I took ChatGPT. I took my real stories, my real experiences, and made a series out of it. And it's bone chilling. The shit that it's so real. And like obviously I changed names and stuff for privacy reasons. But yeah, I have like a little outline of what like my stories would be like. I wanted to like read it if you would let me do that, like the table of contents and stuff.
Just one last thing. Grace says it's not something we're going to talk. It's not something we're going to talk about privately. Of course, my fans defended me against you. You were being hostile, whether it was for the show or not. But that's not toxic. Is she talking to me or you?
I have no idea. I don't even.
She's talking to you, Becky. How are you this stupid? Like you were the one that kept egging her on. You could have just said, "Oh, you could have just."
know them,
In hell, dumb are these people.
Listen, Grace, if we continue talking to you here like this, it's probably going to cause us a lot of trouble, and we want to avoid that at least for now. So let's continue that conversation offline, unless you don't want to, in which case we won't do that either. But I do know, as far as I know, you were just saying my whole launch of this network was an epic fail. So it's not exactly like I owe you anything right now. So
That's a fair point, but they were coming at this being honest and truthful, and it feel like it is a failure.
it's nice enough that I would even bother considering you after doing something like that.
Yeah.
I just happen to be open-minded and content-minded first. Talking to me? Oh, well,
Yeah.
Grace, we could talk privately. If you want toxic, I'll give you toxic. I just hid you on this channel. Goodbye. Goodbye. We talk privately, not on here. I'm not here to antagonize Keem and have my whole network snuffed out, especially while you're talking shit to me, so.
Samsung's talking to Ruby in the chat.
And from here on, the Dorps would talk about this. And knowing Grace and the way she is, Grace holds a grudge. Grace is not going to back down. You have made an enemy out of Grace. Good job, dumbass. The one person who could literally fuck with you even more than anybody else, you have made an enemy.
She said she's talking to Becky and talking to you.
Yeah.
She just said that.
Yep. So anyway, now back to less drama. Like I said, I hate to be a bitch about it, but it is what it is. We talk privately.
And you can tell that Roxy's like, we are so fucked.
Especially if you're going to make a whole stream calling me out and saying this was a fail. You know what was a fail? If we're going to do it, is Grace, you've been trying to take down the LCU after all this time, still doing LCU-focused content. We're starting a whole fucking network doing our own content.
To be fair, Grace completely stopped doing LCU content after February. And she only did it for a little bit, but she was more of a threat to Keemstar than you were. She got her whole channel taken down. She got her kick stuff taken down for a bit. But Bridget admit that she lied to Mike about their age in an old vlog of Mike. He broke up with Bridget after he found out of they got back together. And yeah, I know about that. I was just saying, just in case on my end, I know. Like, I think he is a PDF, but again, that's an opinion, and I am making that If you get my jizz, you get my jizz. You know what I'm trying to do. Cover my ass.
Going in a different direction. I'm sorry.
And I already did 2 videos and a stream about that, so you can go there and find my opinions. So today,
Are not the coattails you're gonna ride. That's got to be someone else. And honestly, give up on the LCU. There's nothing left there. They're a dying network.
they're a dying network, yet your stuff is also dying faster than theirs.
Create your own stuff. You'll be better. Listen, the one nice thing I have to say about Grace is I always believed she was a triple threat. She's attractive, she's entertaining, and she's smart. You've got it all, Grace. The world is your oyster. Just figure out your shit. Work on a better
If she wasn't
audience.
so messy, and the whole thing with her dad, she would be
The
amazing.
whole thing with the dad. Yeah. Work on a better audience. Keem actually, you know what? Oh, I guess I could say this. Keem messaged me that you were trying to get back on Queens, Grace, the other Queens. And you told me to take you into my network. And I said, nope, too toxic.
When was this conversation happening? You kind of just out of yourself in this very moment. Maybe you should have not said this. Maybe in your moment that you didn't think anybody would record this or talk about this. Hello, Epic Evan 102. Yeah, so so Becky more or less outed that information, and that spurred Grace and Ben to do a stream responding to this. Good job. Any other time that you could have just dealt with it then and there and just stop it, and you could have at least saved it? No, you have made it way much worse than you. You have made it way. So what's going on? I'm just covering some stuff related to Becky and her little universe, which is in parallel to the lolcow live universe, particularly with the stream dealing with Grace and a lot of things that was said throughout the stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours.
Even Keem throwing you at me, and I'm like, nope, too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard rumor that Grace wanted to get back on Queens, so I guess that kind of confirms it. But oopsie, somebody did an oopsie.
I mean, I'm glad. Thank you for that, because I mean, everybody's in here, so they left the LCU because of the toxicity and the way they were treated. I just want this to be drama free. You know, we could be messy at times, obviously, but
Interesting. Yes, it is.
Thank you so much with the 10 gifted. But Grace, honestly, just like Keem, I kind of share the same opinions that he did. I do believe in you. I think you would be an excellent entertainer. I enjoy watching his streams. It's all the baggage that comes with it. That's all. If you could ever
And yet, you're one of the reasons he also got fired. I mean, besides the phone call situation, you were.
work on that one day, girl, you'll shoot to the moon. You've got it all. Just make it happen for yourself. Pirate Contra with $1.50. Thank you so much.
Pirate.
All right. Anyway, now, what are some of the coolest stories we should hear about? Let me do a poll. And, I'm gonna see
And after that, it's
or which story first.
Who's quite
you know, after that, that's just what they did. You know, after that, it's just what they just. They were just talking about the scary story stuff, and their numbers started to drop. Their numbers were dropping faster and faster and faster after this, right?
Absolutely.
I got a perfectly good piece of cake left. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna dance in cake. We're gonna dance with a cake face. It's half in my eye. Let me get this shit out.
That is some very thick hair. I hope she is cleaning that every single. That hair needs to be at least clean and brushed and well maintained. That hair looks like that cannot be. That hair looks like you need to do a lot of work to maintain it, and you can tell that she doesn't do that.
Okay. Now this just looks fucking great.
It does. I love
Because it
it.
doesn't even look like cake.
Fuck.
What did you do? Just put a drink with her nose. Stop. Oh, it's so. Oh. Thank you so much, guys. Something.
Yep, that was their stream. That was their stream. Let me look at some of the stuff Ruby said. That would be interesting to see what Ruby has said. Tess is going. I don't want to watch Tess. I don't feel like doing that today. We're gonna go see something completely different. What are we gonna watch? Let me look up Ruby's stream, guys, real fast. Let me go grab that stream. Let me grab Gray stream on top of that since I'm going through it now. Okay, no, I already have her. I already have Ruby. I mean Gray stream now. Okay, so let's see what she's had to say about this whole situation.
People, I was just watching the Becky Boop show, and unfortunately made the mistake of also then glancing at the Thorpe's live hate coverage. They're in full rejection, dysphoria, like spurg out mode. So anyway, I thought we could go for another little walk. I just want to get like a Pop-Tart or something.
Let me move this.
I have my one Bud Light. I was inspired by Sloppy Grace, the Alcoholic No Future. Cheers to that. Keep winning with Daddy. It's definitely all this. Everyone's just so jealous of the winning. Also, dude, they're so like I watched some of them analyzing, like hyper analyzing like.
Do I stream most nights? Not all the time. I try to stream in the morning. Drunk Ash. What's going on? Not much. We're just
zooming in on a picture of me and my dad, and in it, like, sometimes my lipstick smears off throughout the day. Like right now, yeah, my lips, I guess they are like kind of chapped, but I think I actually have fairly nice lips. So stuck my cock. Unlike Grace, just like.
I like Ruby too. And to fix choppy lips, just drink a lot of water. Unless you have naturally choppy lips, and you're gonna need like a special lip balm for that. But it is very humid where she lives, so that doesn't help. So just drink a lot of water.
Daddy! Eat a dick. Anyway, let's not be evil. I just need this positive vibe.
She's going through it low. She's always going. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the stream where she was clapping back at me and Dalmatian Dog? I didn't really. I wanted to cover it, but I was like, it was just a little ridiculous. And I was like, it's Ruby. I'm not gonna get mad at her. Like, it was actually for. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Ruby is entertaining. Ruby is very entertaining. I will always say that much. Ruby is very entertaining, right? And I will always enjoy that about Ruby. So when she did that clap back at me and Dalmatian, I was laughing because I'm like, briefly I saw, yeah, it was funny. I enjoyed it. I recommend watching that stream. I would recommend it. That was a great stream.
Fix my hair. Go for a stroll. It's cooled off a bit, so it's pretty nice out. Is it too late now?
I'm not gonna lie, that's a nice little spot. It's a nice little corner window thing right there. That's really nice. I would like that. That's a nice aesthetic. Yeah, I wasn't sure if she was serious. No, she was serious. No, she was actually very genuinely serious. But I took it as like, this is very entertaining and very funny. Because she read. We did clear it up. We did actually clear it up. But because so prior beforehand, so Dalmatian was already like streaming for almost like 12 hours, more than like a couple hours by then, like more than 6-8 hours by then. And so in the moment, right, Dalmatian was stream sniping Ruby, and Ruby was kind of acting Ruby, you know, very, very manic, and then, you know, the way she was acting in the street, I wrote, because I was actually kind of concerned, but I wrote, you know, Ruby manic makes Grace a little normal, and that set off Ruby, plus Dalmatian calling Ruby 40-year-old. I'm gonna be real with you, I always thought Ruby was like late 20s, early 30s, like late 20s. That's how old I thought Ruby was. Because there's a lot of women around here that look like Ruby who are in their late 20s, so, you know, there's that. So that set up Ruby, and that made her do a whole stream about that. And then eventually, me, her, and Dalmatian settled it in lolcow reject. Grace got involved somehow. somehow Grace got involved. I don't know how. And I was just like, okay. So we talked about Becky stuff, and then we moved on to me and Ruby. And then it was just like, you know, I was just in a moment and something about being humble. And I was like, okay. And all I thought after all of that, I was like, that was entertaining. That was actually pretty fun. Hey, Ruby's entertaining. Ruby knows how to put a show. Like, even, you know, when she's manic, she can be entertaining. Not when she's sad. When she's sad, like when Ruby's actually like seriously, like, you know, like down. No, but when she's like in a manic state, you know what I'm referring to. She is quite entertaining when she doesn't when she's not trying to. Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, what's up, Static? What's up, people? Let me just grab my makeup bag. Fix up because it's been so hot. My makeup's just like sweating off of my face. And you know, I'm a bitch. I care about my visual. Try to keep the visual on point. But yeah, this is my lips with no lipstick. And yeah, when someone smiles, I don't know. I don't really think that I have issues in the lip department. But keep reaching. It makes me feel flattered that that's all they could really think of, because it just happens to be something. It's like if they were calling me fat right now, I just wouldn't really land. It's like, but they're entitled to that opinion. Anyway, but I'm not worried about what they're saying about me. What else is new? They're going so over the top with Becky, who they were just begging to collab. Fuck off. Fuck off. All Becky did was have any common kind of like business sense, have hesitation about signing up to work with the incest dad who beats his fucking dog.
But the problem is, Ruby, is they falsely accuse of them of doxing. That's the problem, and there's no proof or evidence that. And then Roxy would then double down and said that it was no. I'm talking about the other one, even though she clearly said it was Grace. That's the problem right there. And if that is the case, it is, you know. And Ruby, you're friends with Link, so.
Otter. That's the issue, you idiots. Holy shit. It's actually wild that they still can just keep playing out this fantasy that there's some other issue.
Well, the issue started with the false accusation.
Anyway. I do like to accentuate my lips with a lipstick. Hell yeah, bitch. I'm just gonna fix my bangs because they're just driving me crazy right now. Maybe I'll watch more Sandra streams later. I love her. And it's like, yeah, people like watching drama and bullshit, but like not all the time. Sometimes I just want to relax, and especially when and it's my own doing. I didn't have to be typing in chat. I didn't have to say anything in the Thorpe chat, but I throw myself in the mix of it. But I just feel it's just kind of like, what are you doing, people? Like they don't even let the bridge form anymore. They just torch it, like be off the jump. It's so dumb. And also their whole thing, Becky's thing was like a failure, an epic failure, is just not true. Trust me, there's a lot of ways that could have gone that would have been more failure-esque, and they didn't go that ways.
So Grace docs her name today, I think. No, Roxy is her real name. That's always been her real thing. When it's coming to the Roxy, like that literally is her real name. Like I don't even think Grace even knows her last name. And another guy in chat. Yeah, but that's not related to Roxy, right? I guess it could be. Okay, we're talking about the Roxy stuff. That's what we're talking about.
That ways. It didn't go that ways. It was really funny, John, who's Grace's...
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, but that was more towards Ruby and not towards Roxy. That's that situation, which is... I know what you're referring to now.
Ben's estranged son, who occasionally writes raps about how he has no respect for them as people and thinks they're horrible people, just like everyone else who watches from within a couple weeks. But it could be an opportunity if they did that Lolcow Queens reunion with Lynx. I don't know why Grace was like, her ego just couldn't take people not tripping over their dicks to like sign up to work with the like totally not marketable failing incest duo. They just refuse to believe that. I don't see it changing. But that, I guess that's why it's Lolcow-ish. It's just this dedication to being a clown online or whatever. Do you ever think about the idea of space-time being woven through wormholes? Occasionally I do think about that, and it's not anything blasphemous. This could just be by God's design. The rules of I'm just fixing my hair and then we're gonna go for a little walk. About stories for Celebrity Sunday. highly reactive, like sensitive people with huge egos that are going to constantly come into conflict with reality and other people's perspectives. But they genuinely believe it's everyone else. They're just so beautiful, so God inspired. Like God is just really wanting the OnlyFans arc, and no matter how nonsensical it is, they'll well, Grace will believe it. Ben is the one who's just obviously manipulating everyone. But I think Grace buys it hook, line, and sinker. She's in it. She's in it, baby. It would be nice if Becky and Lynx made up and got along. Yeah, I too would like to talk to Becky privately, and Becky didn't request that of me. The thing is, I don't go.
Yeah, no. Lynx has already said it a number of times that she doesn't want to get involved. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. Like, respect the woman. Just respect her wishes. Just respect that, right? She's. God damn it. Whatever. Who cares anymore?
I showed up at my fucking job and house after I told them I'd call the cops. It's shit like that. Welcome to the consequences of your own fucking idiotic actions. Like, this is why people don't want to work with you, because you suck to work with. And it's not really bringing in the kind of bacon to make people want to overlook that suckness. And for me personally, not $1 million is going to make me want to collab with people who've talked about my brother like that, If there were any opening of me interact with them in any way, it would just be by my own volition and something I felt comfortable with, but it's not going to be money inspired. It's not going to be view count inspired. Like, every once in a while, they'll try to, like, get me with that. And I'm like, you wouldn't even know. I don't know. They're perceptive in some ways, but just so not in others. And I could just, they don't really get what I'm trying to do online. They don't understand anything online but hate. And it's sad that, like, the only time I saw Grace animated this week is being all wrapped up about hating Becky. I don't think that's a God-led path when God says to, like, resist wrath and to not speak evil out into the world. Jesus said, turn the other cheek, love thy enemy, etc. But Grace refuses to read the Bible and it's just trusts Ben to filter it through. And it's obvious that sweet YouTube payout is going to be another week or so. And so Atomic Particle has a major description. So that's my top earning show. It's been in there. But yeah, and also, like, they're just going in on her and it's way too affected. It's like, but yeah, and also, like, they're just going in on her and it's way too affected. It's like, that's their rejection dysphoria. Because you could tell the difference when they had critiques. And the thing is, they didn't even shut it down. They just said, can we talk privately? Because it's a fucking landmine talking to these people publicly. From the harasser annoying people in their own thing. I was doxxed because the fucking Thorpes pulled up at my house and filmed it when I wasn't here and told them I wasn't going to be here. It's that kind of shit.
Okay, mind you, though, like, again, the reason they blew on Becky was because it was...
That now,
I'm repeating myself.
Fact, makes people not want to work with you for obvious reasons. People think,
I mean, that is true that the Thorpe did do that.
And they're not even willing to, like, acknowledge that basic, real, like, fact of why people hesitate. And that's just, like, not even acknowledging the fact that she's obviously beaten and abused by her father.
Yeah, but, like, I'm not saying those aren't relevant, but again, if you're falsely accused of something, you're gonna get mad about that. And if her fans feel like she's being falsely accused of something, they're gonna get mad. I mean, you hope that you would do the same and your fans would do the same.
Who's on video beating her, for fuck's sake.
That is true.
But yeah, what a mystery why people aren't, like, the advertisers aren't just, like, tripping over themselves to, do a sponsorship with these people. It's almost as if it's like, yes, lolcow, ooh, crazy, but incest and actual, like, child abuse, it's just, like, not as marketable, There's and that's why the Thorpes have put in hundreds of thousands of dollars into this full-time streaming project between the two of them, and I've been doing this full-time for years, no other jobs, nothing else going on, still have never had a schedule or anything. Nothing that makes sense. That's the moral of the story, is nothing that makes sense. So came from Becky's live. Hey, oh my god, bro, dude, I wanted to go live and then I was like, oh shit, I was like, oh, this might time up perfectly, and if Becky wanted to, that'd be awesome. But I didn't want to be like, Becky, so that's awesome. Thank you. Really high numbers for me. But all right, say like we do an interview. What do you want to talk about? What's your strategy with, like, this? Are you avoiding this topic? People who respect other content creators and work well with others respect that and know that, and they know. I'm in beautiful downtown. I'm single and celibate right now. On Torch in the Thor project. Holy shit. You were just aching to live in the cardboard box with daddy. Is it a victim thing? You want people to feel sorry for you? What? Like, there's, like, the story of Benny's number one.
Alright, that's enough of that. We're gonna move on to the Thorpes real fast and we'll end the stream here.
Ben Thorpe, aka my dad. Listen, guys, we just hit the jackpot.
Put on your seatbelts.
We hit the jackpot.
We got it. We got it. Got it.
All right.
She comes on first and says, it's, I'm going to drop tea, then says, here's the tea. I am starting my own channel and network. That's not tea. So we're saying you're just getting meant. These jokes, they're elaborate, they're funny, and I get no. If I can get to finish my thing, 1 point, 2 point, and the third point. Now, what it is she's doing.
I wonder.
I think I know the theory, the answer to the question, what really is going on. Okay, but let's stay with what's not going on, which is what's being presented here.
Okay.
By this liar, who I don't think Roxy's in on it.
Sure.
And I don't think her Discord's in on it. And I think that Discord, everyone in that Discord should demand their money back.
Scammer.
Because if you're
Scamming.
going to do this for a few days, I don't care if it's $2 or $200. Get your money back, demand your money back right now. This is a lie.
He's scamming.
All right.
We can prove it.
Just let you know too that. So.
Well, that's.
I think we're gonna end it off here. If I do come back to this tomorrow, we'll cover this or whatever happens. I've been streaming for 3 hours. If this was originally meant to be an hour. Thanks everybody for watching. God bless, and cue the outro.